Oh, I don't know when we should start, mate, because he's not here to press the button. I don't know what to do.
In a minute, it'll all be okay. Just remember to breathe. It'll all be good.
Oh, I'm supposed to breathe. I forgot about that.
Breathe in and out, not just in. You keep breathing in, it just gets all messy. And
I'm not a clarinet player.
Why has it got a little yellow thing? It says live.
Oh,
you must have pressed the button. You pressed the button by mistake.
Hello, hey everyone. It's Fox from eModels.co.uk here. I'm not Ted. I'm not Ted.
We're Tedless.
This is where it all goes horribly wrong now because Ted's not here. Don't panic. Ted's just doing taxi runs at the moment. He's like Dad's taxi or Granddad's taxi, so he should be with us shortly, hopefully. Please God, he should be with us shortly. Welcome to the eModels live stream. It's Monday. It's 9 p.m. BST. More daylight. And it's time for our nonsense show. How is everybody? With me, as always, is not Ted. There you go. What have you been up to, Ted? Nah, not much. And with me, as always, on the other side is Chris from Gross Models. How you doing, Chris?
I'm good, thank you. And I see our banners aren't working, so I've got my pre-made banner. There we go. I'm ready.
Yes, no, I don't have a pre-made banner. Google managed to fix the banners and then broke them again. So no banners on the bottom. They work, they just don't appear. So hey.
It's sort of halfway between what was before but isn't now. So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds very philosophical. It was what was before, but it's now not.
Of the other things that were things.
Yeah, you're going a bit.
Chat's gone mental now. Everyone's come in and said hello. So hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. We'll go through who's in a moment. As always, it's Monday night, so it's our usual show. It'll be a couple of hours of nonsense talking about the past, I would suspect. I have lined up the what's in store and done all the things that Ted normally does. I can't help thinking I've forgotten something really important. Probably. I just have that little nagging doubt at the back of my head that I've not done something. So if something's not working, let me know and I'll panic and run away.
Ted's fault. If something's not working, it's Ted's fault. Blame Ted.
We'll blame it on Ted. It's always Ted's fault when he's not here. But as always, it'll be our new normal 2 hours of nonsense, or maybe 10 minutes before we all have a panic attack. Calm. It's not that bad. As always, we depend on you guys watching to help us pad this out for 2 hours. So we always accept questions. So unfortunately, I don't have access to Ted's email to take questions via email. I messaged him and said, dude, I need the login and password for Ted at eModels.co.uk so I can do the questions. And he went, I don't know because it's on my phone and it's auto-complete, so I can't remember. So if you have mailed in a question, I've got one question that came through that Ted sent me. So normally we'd say, if you want to ask us any questions, do feel free to join the chat. You can ask questions in there. If you're not watching on YouTube, if you're watching on, say, eModels.co.uk/live or anywhere else and there's no chat, just have a look at the screen at the bottom right-hand corner. There's the little YouTube icon. Click on that and you'll go straight to the YouTube page with the stream and the live chat. Do join in if you can, because we do give stuff away, stickers and mugs and good things. So feel free to ask questions if you're in the chat. Put them in all capitals so Chris can spot them. Chris is your chat dolly for the night. I'm depending on him. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, you can tell I've not planned this. Yeah, if you're not watching, I would say normally mail them in, but I can't access the email. But
if you're not watching, it doesn't matter because they're not watching.
Yeah, that's true. So, I'm talking rubbish now. See, I'm just panicking straight away.
You can always email your questions to Ted at eModels.co.uk and we'll do them next week.
Yeah, we'll do them next week.
Or if Ted's moving, then we'll do it sometime. But yeah, they'll pile up and then we'll have a big stash of questions that we can ask at some point.
Yeah, there you go. This is really weird because I've done live shows before and I've hosted live shows before and it's second nature to me, but for some reason doing this one, because it's Ted's baby, it's like, oh, I don't want to mess it up. Oh.
Yeah, so watch it back though, is it?
In capitals so Chris can spot them. As always, there is the super chat option, the little dollar sign at the bottom of the chat. Feel free to click on that. And your comment will be in a big red, blue, or gold, or pink even box, and it can't be missed ever. We can't possibly miss your question. So I'll segue rather harshly onto the next section and say, Chris, how are you doing, sir? What have you been up to this week?
I just noticed Osric 9000 said Ted's way out of focus tonight. So yeah, he's so far out of focus that he's not even in the little window and my name's fallen off. So you remember it's
little window. Is that coming off?
Mostly this week. I've been doing the plane, the Starlifter, the 141B Starlifter.
Starlifter across the universe.
Rogan. That's who made it. And yeah, I've done the camo, the three color camo in grey, green, and green. I haven't put the landing gear on it quite yet because I'm going to do decals now. I've done a gloss coat ready for the decals. Get them on it, and then a bit of light weathering. Not going to go heavy because it's, you know, in use military plane, so I've got dirty up the undercarriage a bit. Everyone likes a dirty undercarriage.
You like dirtying up the undercarriage, don't you, Chris?
Yep. Other than that, yeah, it's been fun. The nose I had to paint after I've done everything else because it didn't actually bother telling us in the instructions to paint the nose black. It's the instructions and the paint guide for it are a little bit challenging, shall we say?
Is this the kit that has the camouflage that doesn't match up even in the instructions?
Yeah, I did some asking of people about the instructions. This is the, if it comes out on camera, the paint guide sort of camo pattern thingy. But now it might. Let me come around.
Jiggle.
It might not come out very well, but the way I'm thinking, if you're looking at it from the top, when you see this green bit at the front, and then when you look at it from the side, you see the green bit, and that's the way it works. But this light green bit, if you can see that on the top and going down the side, why isn't it there?
Weird.
It's sort of on this side, but it isn't on. So I think they've just messed up and got some different angles from different bits of planes. So
it must have been the YTS guy in doing the instructions the trainee was in.
Yeah, probably. I sort of forgot to that bit, or I don't know. So I've used that as inspiration. So my camo job is inspired by, rather than an exact, accurate, whatever. So it's all my fault. There we go.
Yes. There is a question. Kenneth says, did Ted's chair finally collapse? Yeah, he's actually so far down, his camera just can't pick him up.
Yeah,
no, he's doing taxi duty at the moment, so he's running a bit late. So he should be with us hopefully very shortly.
Jamie Bones says he sent Ted an email for a sticker last week, but I haven't got it yet. You'd have to ask Ted about that, but we haven't even got a Ted. So yeah, Ted
has just gone back to work again, so he's doing his work on the boats. So he may just not have had time to get to the post office because, unfortunately, because Ted lives in the Lake District, the post office is like 1 trillion miles away. So he tends to collect them all together and do runs. So if you're waiting for a sticker from Ted, apologies, obviously, but bear with him. He tends to pile up a few and then do them.
I'm sure he's got a big list somewhere, and he will get to you. But yeah, Phil Lewis asked, "Did a crime occur behind me?" I don't know.
I think it's the strip across here.
Right. It's not crime scene tape. It's my light. I think I mentioned about this before. It's a homemade light strip. So I can, you know.
See, Chris is only little, so he can fit underneath that quite easily.
I can see things underneath it. So yeah, no crimes. Well, apart from my model making, that's a crime. But you know,
yeah, not that
bad. Jared B says, "Have you ever used C1 metalizer?" Nope, but Fox says
yes, I have. I shall show you.
While he's doing that, I'm going to read some chat and catch up.
Yes, I used it on. I'm going to have to say it now because somebody asked a question, so nobody wins the sweepstake. I used it on a Gunpla when I did my mega size unicorn. I've used it on some other things, but it's absolutely fantastic, absolutely brilliant stuff. It's works best on a glossy black base color. So when I did my unicorn, I used the UMP gloss black primer. I couldn't really be bothered priming it and then painting it gloss black when I could just prime it gloss black. So, and that went on like a dream. You simply put it on, buff it off with a soft cotton pad, done. It's really durable. It's really tough. You can handle the part and you'll get some fingerprints on it, but you just wipe those off. You can handle the part and it won't come off. You can put decals over it. I haven't done that, but apparently you can put decals over it. You can, if you watch my Eagle Transporter build for eModels on the eModels channel, when I did the thruster bells, I did those gloss black primer, then the C1 metalizer, and then I used Ammo by Mig streaking grime. It was engine grime, might have been engine grime, that I literally just brushed on like a pin wash, gave it 10 minutes and rubbed it off with a dry cotton bud, and that gave the most fantastic grimy, dirty look, but also kind of gave a slightly tarnished look because it affected the C1 metalizer a little bit, the enamel paint. So it's really good stuff. It's quite durable. You can mask over it. I've done that. It's great. Put it on, put your masking tape on, no problem at all. So yeah, it's really good. It's a really nice way. The only trick with anything like these powders is your choice of varnish. You can use your Pledge 2 times more shine or any gloss varnishes over it, but it will affect the metallic sheen a little bit. It won't look quite as metallic. So if it's a model that you're never going to handle ever, you're going to put it in the display cabinet and that's it. You don't need to gloss varnish over it because it is quite durable. It's not going to come off. But if you ever do need to handle it, just make sure you wear gloves. If you need to gloss varnish it, you could try stuff like the Alclad Aqua Gloss. Is supposed to be quite good. The Gauzy by, is it AK or Vallejo Gauzy? I can never remember.
Don't know.
Gauzy anyway. That's supposed to be quite good for metallic effects as a gloss coat. Or you can just gloss over it if you're not too fussed. It still looks like a shiny metal. It just loses some of that little twang. But yes, it's very good stuff. If you've never tried it, get it. It's a great, simple way of doing metallics. Really nice, creamy shines.
People are asking what the Space 1999 Comlock signal was when it just went off. It means Ted Foxx got a message.
Yes, it means Ted says he's 5 minutes away.
5-minute warning for Ted. Yeah.
Yeah, some not prizes for people who got the fact it's the Comlock sound.
Right. Angus Allott says, is Ted mood lighting as an Uber? It's quite possible. I don't think he's getting paid for it, though. I think he's just doing
the more an Unter than an Uber, but there you go.
Trout and Chard and Dave are asking about how many jelly babies will fit in my plane, and none, because I'll probably eat them all, as already been mentioned, so I don't need to bother asking about that.
Yeah, he wouldn't. You can't use jelly babies as a measurement because they won't last long enough. You'd eat them all.
I'm sure do they compress slightly? I know they obviously squidge, but will they still fill the same volume if you compress them?
Don't know, but I think a more valid scientific study is how many flumps would fit inside it.
Yeah, but they definitely compress.
Yeah, I know, but that's the whole point, you see. And if you could compress them enough, if you took the plane away, would you have a plane-shaped flump? Would you have a giant flump?
Would it then just sort of slowly expand back to 20 times the size of a plane?
Yeah, you know, one of my life goals that I will never achieve, but I want to achieve one day, is to get an Olympic-sized swimming pool, or just a swimming pool, and fill it to the brim with flumps and dive in. I don't know why. It's just something I've always thought I'd love to do that.
Well, it doesn't have to be a huge swimming pool then. It just has to be like a paddling pool would be.
Well, no, you want it to be like at least 6 feet deep because you want to be able to sink under the flumps and then like.
I don't know that you would sink.
I want to know what it feels like to jump into a swimming pool full of flumps. I don't know why. It's just one of them things.
Dick Dolan says he needs a slap for prevaricating so long on hitting the buy button on eModels site that he missed his order getting sent today. But at least he's got a new airbrush playtime. Will be a day or so longer than he expects.
Yay!
So, yeah, and I'm sure you could always use that time by adding more things to your basket.
Yes.
And,
yes. Yeah, add more things to your basket. Well, don't forget when we do the what's in store, we always say when we show what's in store, if you fancy anything that we do show, go and buy it now because they tend to sell out quite a lot when we do it when we show things. People tend to buy them straight away. So yeah, you can't be hanging around when there's what's in store. If something tickles your fancy, grab it.
Adrian David says he started his new job today. Congratulations! But he forgot to get his dinner out of the fridge freezer.
Refridge freezer.
Fridge freezer. Just fridge freezer. I'm just saying fridge freezer. Oops.
My bottom lip refuses to cooperate when I try and say refridge.
You know the answer to that is just ordering pizza.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, who's going to be the first person to get a pizza on the stream tonight? Then do you think?
Trout and Charles just naming all the flumps.
Posey, Perkin,
and Paul. Yeah.
Grandpa. And the one with the tuba. I don't know.
Unfortunately, Robert Blaylock is asking what the heck is a flump. I haven't got any to show you, but they're like marshmallow type.
Yeah.
Basically, flavoured and shaped marshmallow things.
It's like imagine and
a 70s TV show, yeah. But.
Yeah, imagine like a twisty pasta tube, like you get the twisty pasta things, but imagine that made out of mallow, so it's like squishy and flumpy, and it's about that long, and they're just called flumps. I don't know why, but it's the best word in the world ever. Just the best word ever.
Yeah.
Outside the UK, people are like, I don't know what you're talking about.
James Chapman says, evening guys, are we missing a Ted? Ted is slightly delayed. He's probably 3 minutes away now. So
he's been out saving the world again, probably.
Yeah. Well, people are saying it's a new superhero, Uber Ted.
Uber Ted. What, voiced by Derek Griffiths?
Yeah. Redlin 8 says, "Can you brush on pledge 2 times more shine?" He doesn't have an
Yes.
airbrush. Yep. Yeah.
I would. You can do. If you do it over a big area, it doesn't come out quite as shiny because it's a thicker coat, which sounds really weird, but it doesn't. You can do, but I would recommend if you're going to brush any parts, try and just restrict your brushing of it to small things, like if you've got, say, I've got to try and think now. Say you're building a tank and you've got a tank kit and you've got the little periscope things around the top of the cupola. You know, the little things where they can look up. I don't know what they're called. I'm not a tank dude. The little windows. You know what I mean?
Holes.
Yeah, no, like you get the cupola and then you get the little square things around it, which are all little.
What was it? The cup holder? Did you say?
No, yeah, the cup holder, just above the cup holder, near the reclining gun. Things like that, where maybe it's a little recessed detail or like a headlight, but it's not a clear part on your kit, and you're supposed to paint it in. You can use it on there to get gloss effects. You can just touch it to it, and it'll, especially in recessed details, it'll fill to the shape. If you're doing little, say, display screens, again, just touch it to it, and the surface tension will do it. And you can paint it over small things. When I did my little Warhammer dudes, all the gold trim, I just brushed it over, because over small areas, it's actually really nice and comes out really smooth. Over big areas, it does work, but you can get a little bit of patchiness. The beauty of the pledge stuff is it self-levels wonderfully, so it's always best sprayed if you can, though. But over small details, yeah, go for it. If I've got a figure and all I want on him shiny is, say, the barrel of his gun, I just brush it on. There's no point spraying tiny details.
Tony Black's already had pizza.
Oh, shut up!
And Kenneth said he's looking for a shop that has breakfast pizza because it's 7 a.m. there.
Breakfast pizza.
Why do you get up early to watch us? It makes us feel special.
Surely breakfast pizza is just whatever pizza you left from the night before. That's what I think of breakfast pizza is. Is it not just what you didn't eat the night before?
Yeah, could be. Robert Blaylock's asking, is a flump like a peep? I don't know what a peep is, so...
No, unfortunately, it's the reverse now. The Americans know what peeps are and we know what peeps are. If I don't remember, peeps are little mallow rabbit-shaped things or something. Flumps really are the softest food stuff you'll ever put in your mouth. They're just like, that's why they're called flumps, because they're kind of flumpy. They're just like...
Periscopes. People are saying periscopes. I think they're talking about your things you look through, but it's not a periscope. But yeah.
No, I kind of thought the word was periscope, but they're not. They're like little viewing things. Tank dudes will know what I mean.
Probably a periscope, but yeah.
You're a periscope.
Right.
Chocolate
about turning it vertically. I don't know if I missed out at the beginning of that conversation.
What was that one?
I don't know. Kenneth says to Trout and Chard he hasn't worked out how to turn it vertically yet.
I knew a girl like that once. Oh,
no.
Oh! Suddenly a Ted appeared.
Well, Ted appeared, right? And we can go home now then.
Yeah.
Right. No.
It uses broadcasting. It's super effective.
Hello.
Hello, Tedward.
Hello. I just got in. I'm just taking my coat off. Be with you in a moment.
All right. He's got to take his coat off and get the kettle on, get the gin in the kettle and heat it
He's
up.
not going to get undressed live on camera, is he?
See behind the scenes now as I get prepared for eModels. eModels.co.uk.
He's always on duty, is our Tedward.
Yeah. Adrian David says buy the pizza and have it cold the next morning for breakfast.
Yeah, that's what we do. Somebody did mention a breakfast pizza. I find the idea disturbing and also kind of alluring at the same time.
Phil East says bacon, sausage, mash and beans for a breakfast pizza. I don't know about mash.
No, not mash.
Beans you can probably get away with.
Yeah, beans, bacon, sausage, beans, more bacon, and bacon, and Fox and Ted and I.
Yeah, and me. Yeah,
and Chris.
Right, there goes the neighbourhood. It's Trout and Chard. Thanks. Yeah.
He's got all the hair and everything.
Keep the chat going because I've got to get it up yet.
Were you being Granddad's taxi?
Oh, yes. It was one of those things, where the school decided. Well, it wasn't school. It was some drama company who'd gone around all the schools and said, let's have a jolly good show at the local theatre, and all the schools got involved. So yeah, you've got to go and sit through it and then clap and do all the good grandfather stuff and then taxi everybody home after they
don't know what Monday night is.
Yeah,
they should do it for a different night. It's just not on.
So they're all they're all there congratulating each other on being lovies and
Lovies.
Sergeant Bone says they got chocolate pizza here in Germany, but it's nasty. Yeah, it does sound nasty. I don't
know actually. I don't know.
I like chocolate, but it's got no place on pizza.
I will be honest and tell you, I have had a sandwich that included both Nutella and Philadelphia because I ran out of Nutella halfway through making the sandwich and I had to fill the space with something, so I had some Philadelphia. And I've got to tell you, actually quite nice. The chocolate and it was weird, but it was kind of pleasant. So chocolate and cheese are not, they go well together quite well, actually.
Alan at Northwest Modeler says he fancies a full English now.
Oh, so do I. Oh, somebody mentioned black pudding. Yeah, you should have black pudding on a breakfast pizza.
Oh, yeah.
With the black pudding.
I come back and you're talking about food. What's happened to the modelled stuff? Yeah, I go away for 10 minutes and come back and it's just total mayhem.
Well, it's that 1980s, Ted. You know,
we did the model stuff. We did that in the last 10 minutes and then we were on to food.
Yeah, oh, right. That's all right then. Yeah, I just picture. I must be honest. When I was travelling back, well, not when I was travelling back. When I was waiting, because we're not too far away, I did get the first 5 minutes of the live stream home. So,
what, the panicking nonsense and everything's on fire.
Yeah, and I did pick up on one or two messages as well. Jamie Bourne, one was on about his sticker. Yeah, I've got all the stickers. I've got the addresses. What I'm planning to do is, if you did win a sticker, I'm going to send them all out in one batch at the end of the month.
See, I told you. That's what I said.
Yeah, that way, if anybody sort of asks more than one question and gets more than one sticker, I could send them out as a batch, and it'll save me postage and get into the post office. So that's what's happening.
Phil Lewis says, next time use Nutella and Marmite. I've done that as well. That also works.
Tim and Mindy Bickerdike says, we miss you, Ted.
Oh, thank you.
We do our best. And
yeah, we were obviously just not good enough. The two of us were here, but no, we don't get any appreciation at all. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, they had a special guest on as well, says Kenneth. I must have missed that bit when I was driving through town.
What?
I missed it.
Actually, there was a response. Tim and Mindy Bickerdike said, we miss you, Ted. And Phil Lewis says, Tim and Mindy, you need to aim better. Yeah, Jamie Oliver was a special guest, Ted, and you just missed him, says Kenneth.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Because we started talking about food.
No, that's just wrong. Marmite. Marmite's brilliant.
Yeah, Marmite's good.
Marmite's good for you. My fiance says cheese and chocolate is the best. Probably pregnancy cravings, lol, says James Chapman. Well, congratulations on being with child.
Oh, Dave Barker's asking, is he still banned from stickers?
I'll send you one out of kindness.
Don't you owe him like 76 million of them or something?
Yes. Can we not just eModels to order them from the printers and send them straight today?
Yeah.
Rattenchild says, Ted, straight in, straight out of focus. What a guy.
That's it. That's it.
He knows what people want, and he goes for it. So, Ted, you've missed this bit then. Tedward, how are you, and what have you been up to this week?
What have I been up to this week? Well, yeah, I've been quite busy, actually. I've got the part 8. Was it part 8? Or was it part 9?
10.
I've lost track.
Whatever part it is, I've got it finished of the U-boat build. Yeah, I'm just in the editing stage. What I've done, I've weathered this bit up. You probably can't see it on this camera, but I've weathered that bit up to show how to do some weathering on the submarine. And I finished the aft section. I've got all that.
Look at that.
It needs to come out yet.
But let me lock it on you, Ted. I totally forgot. I forgot I'm in charge, so I can lock it on.
You're in charge. Yeah, I've got all the insides. I've got all that inside. I've taken the, I don't know, did I take the masking off last week? Well, it's all off. It's all painted. Props and everything are on.
I have a question, though, Ted, for that. How are you going to weather it without getting the weathering on the clear bit? Now you've taken the masking off.
Yeah, I thought I'd just mask it off, just put some tape over, because it won't go too far down. Just some.
Mind you, if it's enamels and all, you can just rub them off anyway, can't you? Because
I just wipe them off.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, and I've done that one as well, which has come out quite nice actually. I don't know if you can really see it to its full effect on the camera, but just some light streaking and weathering and salt streaks. But you know me, less is more. None of this going over the top and grungy type stuff. So.
What are you trying to say, Ted? What are you trying to say?
Yeah, so
are you pointing in my direction there?
How close to actually finished is it then? That's the real big question.
It's not really very far away from finished.
About one house move away from being finished.
Yeah, I've got to do all the lighting in all the compartments. I've got to build the crew, which isn't particularly important to get the crew finished before the boat's finished. It can always go in afterwards. Get it all painted and slap it together, really.
Slap it together.
I would think about another 2, maybe stretch to 3 episodes of video, and it could be done.
So about 6 months?
Yeah, about another 12 months, yes.
Yeah.
Totally Scale Model says, just out of interest, Ted, how much is that sub?
How much? How much?
Sub, how much is the kit?
How much is a kit? I think. Hang on.
Well, when Ted started doing it, it was threepence halfpenny.
Yeah, when it came, it was pre-decimal.
See if it's on eModels website. What was it called?
U552. I can't see the part.
It is 359.99.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good price kit for all what's in it.
So it's like 8 sections or something, or 8 individual kits.
There's 1, 2, 3,
remember that.
5 interior compartments, all of which is a kit in itself. Then there's the hull. Then there's the conning tower, which is another kit in itself. So yeah, you're getting 6, 7 kit worths in the box. Kit worths. Yeah.
It kind of scales up because you are buying so many parts. Is it like is it like 1,000 parts, 3,000 parts, or something crazy? I think
it's 1,100 parts.
Yeah,
148 scale.
Yeah, Robert Blaylock says worth every penny.
Yeah, Trout and Chart says 1970 decimalisation, do I win a sticker?
Oh, that was the question. I know it was 1971, not 1970.
Yeah. Kenneth has a question for Ted. He says, have you ever used crack? No, actually, he didn't mean that. He said, have you ever used Vallejo Crackle Medium, and how thick do you apply it?
I haven't used it. No, I haven't used it. But I probably think it's probably like that stuff that crafters and upcyclers use on furniture. I don't think you apply it very thick at all. You apply the base coat down to the top. I think it's very similar to putting enamel over lacquers.
Yeah, if I remember rightly, it's very similar to Citadel's Agrel on Earth, which is what I use for that kind of cracked earth effect. And that works better the more you put on. So the thicker you do it, if you do it really thin, you get tiny little cracks. If you put it a bit thicker, you do get bigger, more realistic cracks. But I don't know about the Vallejo stuff. I've not tried that.
Yeah, I think it's just taking advantage of the problem when you put your acrylics over enamels. So it's just doing that. So yeah.
I can't quite remember how they work, but I think it's pretty much to do with the fact they skin over quite quickly, but they still dry underneath. And while the inside is still drying and moving around, the top is skinned over, and that's what cracks.
Yeah,
it's just like mud. That's the effect. It's just a cracked mud effect.
Michael Jackerman says, lucky you already got a sticker and a mug because he's getting terrible lag on his internet connection tonight.
Well,
not us.
Are you downloading movies of dubious quality at the same time?
Was it fine until Ted came along?
Yeah. Just like
I'm just sucking all the internets.
Kenneth seems to be a little bit confused. He's implying that you've done more than 6 in a series of video builds. I did get to 6. I did get to 6, I think, and then I got all confused.
Yeah. Surely no one can travel at that speed.
Sergeant Bones asked, did they make the clear part on the conning tower on the wrong side? I actually think they did. Because it seems strange that one half of the submarine is all open and you have to go around the other side to see the clear part of the conning tower. Yeah, I think they did make the clear part the wrong side on the conning tower. It would have been much better on the other side. But,
I never realised that. So the clear part's actually on the...
Yeah, the clear part. Hang on.
Or did you put the conning tower on backwards?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see. Can you see on the picture there how the conning tower is clear?
Not really.
To the solid side. And then it's up there. And then you turn it round and it's all open and the conning tower's solid. Strange.
Maybe just to give you something interior to look at, whichever side of it you're standing.
Yeah, I just think it's odd. It would have been better to the other side, but never mind. Yeah, we're not to reason why.
All right.
Mm.
Tony Black says, question of you, try using methylated spirit to strip acrylics. I don't think it would it? Because it's a mineral spirit, and that probably wouldn't do too much.
Yeah.
It'd take enamels and oils off.
You could burn it off, set fire to it.
Yeah. It might strip some of it off, but it might not.
Yeah. Robert Blaylock's got a comment for you there, Fox.
Hang on. Tony Black, if you're in the UK, get some Oven Pride. Some people use bleach. I use Oven Pride oven cleaner. It takes effect off anything. Go on, what's the question for me?
Not really a question. It just says, hear that, Fox, you truly can make more than 6 YouTube videos.
Heresy.
And Trout and Chard says that Michael's internet connection is because the internet's straining to correct Ted's unfocusedness.
So he's not that dead, just filled his tubes up.
I just,
Was that the response?
I just
Ted filled his tubes up.
I just try to get the camera lined up. That's where it usually is.
I had to phone my broadband company this week because my broadband is normally about 65 meg, is like 30 meg, and my upload is down to 10. I phoned up and I said, yeah, I've noticed over the last couple of months my speed's kind of halved, literally halved, and it's kind of stayed at half. Is there a problem? And he went, no, that's what your line can cope with. I'm like, no, my line can cope with 75 meg because I've had 60 meg before now. No, that's what your line can do. I've had it faster. No, that's the most your line can handle. That's the most technically we can put on your line. All right. Unless you take this other package that goes twice as fast. So you can't physically give me faster broadband on that line unless I pay you more money. And I sat there for a second. I thought, hang on a minute, have you changed your packages recently? And he said, yes. And I said, hang on then. Have you suddenly gone from having one high-speed fiber broadband package to having two, the cheaper one that's half the speed and the premier one that's twice the speed that is the one I used to have? But when you only had one, he went, oh, I hate when they do that.
That would be an incommunicable matter.
Yeah, so in the end, I agreed. I said, look, just put me through to sales and I'll pay for the higher package to get the speed I used to have for more money. Not that I agreed with it. So he put me through to sales and I said to the sales guy, how much more will it cost? And he went, you know what, mate? We'll just leave the price exactly the same. There you go, done.
Cool.
I'm like, yay. So, yes.
Right. Steve Whittingham says, have any of you bought a kit where parts were so bad you gave up building it?
Yes.
No, I don't think I have, because I'm just so tight that I'd never throw a kit away. So yeah, I just persevere.
I bought the a very old. Well, it wasn't, the kit wasn't old, but the tooling was old. I've said this before. I bought the FX 1/72 scale JU52, and I opened the box, and not only was the clear canopy part the most fogged plastic I've ever seen in my entire life, it was basically alabaster. The parts were terrible. There was more flash than parts, and they didn't fit. And I'm like, I just put it straight back in the box and thought they'll do for spare parts. So I never made that one. It was just like, I only paid £6 for it. It was one of those little cheap Airfix ones where they just released a tooling from 20, 30, 40 years ago. So I didn't really mind. It was like, okay, well, it'll do for spares and test pigs and stuff. But yeah, that wasn't a clear canopy. That was just a frosted part. I'm like, no.
Dick Dolan says he uses IPA to strip acrylics. It works well, not the beer, he says.
Yes, it can do. Just be careful what plastics you put it on. If it's a Bandai kit, it will eat your plastic alive. Any kind of Bandai kit. I don't know about other manufacturers, but Bandai don't bake the plastics. So if you put that in IPA, it will just melt the plastic. So be careful. If it's a box standard like Tamiya, Airfix, anything like that, you're probably fine.
A few people giving up on kits. Sergeant Bones says he's given up on Tiger Tracks. They're just too fragile. Totally Scale Model says he keeps putting his Airfix 1/24 Spitfire back on the shelf. And Dick Dolan says he's come close to smashing a Hella Laverda kit a few times now. It's really fighting him.
Well, I know our good friend of the channel, TK, has just recently finished doing his Polar Lights 1000 scale USS Reliant. And it reminds me of the fact that I've not yet come across anybody, maybe one person, who has actually ever completely finished a kit of the USS Reliant with no issues and been happy with the end result. Of any of the releases of the kit going back to the AMT one years ago, I've not yet come across anyone who didn't just get to the point of wanting to throw it away. for some reason that ship is cursed. Nobody can make a good model kit of the USS Reliant, and it's my favorite Star Trek ship in the world. Nobody makes a good kit of it.
Timber asks, do you prime kit parts in bulk on the sprue or take them off and denub them, etc. first? Yeah, I tend to take them all off and do it. I tend to do it in stages. So if I'm building, I mean, the plane, for instance, I got most of it done off the sprue, denubbed, and then primed. Left some of it still on the sprue, not touched yet, until I've worked my way through to that bit, and then I'll reprime them. So I don't prime on the sprue. I did on one kit, and just, I don't know, didn't feel right.
It's not. I would do, but it's just not worth the hassle of then going back and cleaning up all the little bits you have to put back in again. The thing, it depends what you're making. If you're making like typical like armor kits, like tanks and things like that, a lot of the time you can build pretty much most of the kit, and it's all the same color, so you can just prime it all in one go, apart from a few sub assemblies. So, like me with my little AML90, this thing that I'm building, my little AML90 that I'm building, I basically built the entire vehicle and had the turret separate and just primed them, because there's no point priming individual pieces to then glue them all together when you can just basically build as much as you can. So my ethic is always, before you start building, have a look and see, plan your order of painting and think, right, how much of this can I build so that I can then prime it? And the only thing I had to do on the turret was put tape inside the cupolas so that no paint gets inside, because it's black primary inside, but I want it to stay black. Other than that, if it's armor or something like that, you can just build it. Just build it and then prime it. Just keep off to one side things that need to be a different color or whatever, or that you need to paint separately. Just also be conscious of what you need to glue to what, because you don't want to be trying to glue things together once they're all painted. As little as much you can avoid that. But yeah, I wouldn't paint on the sprue. Just give yourself more work.
Yep.
It went quiet then.
That's it. I've run out of questions now. Everyone's.
Troughton Chard says, I hope Polar Lights bring out a new tool of the 350 scale Reliant. They are bringing out a motion picture Klingon ship. Polar Lights, they did. I mean, the one TK got was a snap fit kit, and it wasn't snap fit kit, and didn't really fit together very well. And so it wouldn't be the first time. I've done a few Polar Lights kits in my time, and they're all right. They're not brilliant. They're all right, but I just wish my life would be complete if somebody made a USS Reliant kit that had no fit issues and went together like a dream and just worked, because nobody's ever done it. Revell tried one, AMT tried one, MPC tried one, Polar Lights. Nobody's been able to do it. It must be that ship. I don't know. It's just cursed.
There's no reason to it, though. I mean, it's different shape in the cells and things, but it's not any technically.
I know. It's just. I don't know. If Bandai did a Reliant kit, it would be the best Reliant kit ever. But they never will. So, oh well.
Yeah. There's someone who hasn't got a name. They've just got two little minus things. Just says nice beard.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Oh, you don't know. That's me.
Well, we know it's not Ted.
Yeah, it's not Ted. Oh dear. Yeah, Adrian David says he had a kit of the Titanic, but there were some parts missing. His heart sunk when he saw it. Right.
Chapman says he has an older tooling of an AMT Enterprise, but missing the clear part for the nacelle, and he can't get any replacement parts. Yeah, good luck with that. They're long out of print. I've got a Deep Space Nine runabout in my stash up there that I need to build at some point. Your old AMT kit. MPC? AMT? AMT. I built one before, and it was a nice little kit, so I've got one to do. People are talking about Lou, but I don't know who Lou is. Who's
yeah, there was something about someone did some Star Trek kits. Lou Damasco.
Don't know who
he
that
builds great Star Trek kits, apparently.
I've seen it. I've seen one YouTuber do a decent Reliant, but I've seen so many others just give up or just at the end of it say this is the worst kit ever and hate it. I watched Dr. Faust Painting Clinic do his, and the poor thing, he got all the way to building it, got it all sealed up, got it filled, got all the lighting in, and it was at the end of it, it was the vinyl stencils for the Aztec panels that killed.
Robert Blaylock says he sees Ted's mouth moving but hear no sound. I'm just thinking we haven't heard from Ted for a little while. But
Ted, have you turned your microphone off?
See, Ted's only partially here. We can have video but no sound.
He's not muted. I've not muted him.
How's that? Can you hear me?
Let's come back now. Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
What have you been saying for the last 10 minutes, Ted?
Was it of great import?
Yeah, I'll have to run it back. Yeah, it seems that we had this issue. Remember when we had this issue where when we started up last week, the sound just went off for no apparent reason. I have to turn the microphone off and turn it back on again.
Like Dave Barker says, "Oh my God, now Ted's sound is out of focus."
See, yeah.
If your microphone has like an auto turn off, but you've got the same as me, and mine doesn't turn off after a while. So
it's not the microphone. The microphone doesn't do it. It seems like the Hangout does it.
Just for you.
yeah.
Well, as eModels said on the Facebook press release today, it wouldn't be the same without me being out of focus or pressing the wrong buttons. Yeah, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here for comedy value.
Yes. See, we've been like bugging Ted for months to get a decent webcam, like me and Chris have got, and he won't because it'll kill the comedy. Basically, if Ted had a decent webcam, it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same. Yeah, I just need good star weight.
We're getting a decent webcam and put a bit of tissue paper across the front of it.
Yeah, and a bit of Vaseline on the lens. That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
Hollywood tricks.
Yeah. Chris Balkin says, "Hi, Fox's mum."
Hi, Fox's mum. Wait, that's my mum. What am I on about? Totally Scale Model says Fox. His name is Lou Dalmasso from Aztec Dummy. Oh yes, I know Lou. In that case, yes, he produced a lot of sci-fi painting masks. Yes, they were the ones that unfortunately Dr. Faust tried on his Reliant, and they made a right mess of it. So, but that was quite a few years ago. I think they've changed since then.
Kenneth M says my keyboard made cleaning. Yeah, for those of you seen a recent Facebook post of me editing the video, may have noticed what a sorry state my keyboard is in. But yeah, it's just slapped on. Yeah, slap it on. It's not.
At least that keyboard's got a Q button that works.
What you need, Ted, is a keyboard like my 1980s Model M, because then it's kind of creamy color anyway, so it hides dirt really well. Although it doesn't hide kebab juice like that bit there, but it sounds so awesome that you don't care what it looks like.
It's at the end of each week when you turn your keyboard upside down and shake it and all the bits drop out. You think, where did they come from?
There's always a grain of rice as well. I never quite figured that one out.
Yeah,
even my keyboard at work many years ago, and it was like, there's a grain of rice in that. I don't eat at my desk. There's always a grain of rice.
Trump Chardas has Fox's mum hand retired from showbiz. We haven't seen an appearance for weeks.
No, she's probably just downstairs. She's probably just watching the stream.
It's on a sabbatical. Yeah.
Yeah. You're chilling out.
I just wondered if there's any parts under these keys.
Yeah, Kenneth said she's probably guarding the mugs.
Yes. Ted, do you want to take back control of the stream, by the way? Or I don't mean like pressing buttons, but are you helming it now?
Carry on. It's relaxing at this end now. Angus, I'm not ignoring you. I've missed if you commented on something. I haven't.
Ted's a bit at 6s and 7s at the moment.
Yeah, I'm still calming down from road rage. Even a 10-minute drive down the road builds road rage.
Road rage.
But Angus, no. If I've missed something, type it again. I'm not ignoring.
I'm getting word from the producers.
Nope. It's an arm. It's not an arm.
It's going for my ear. It's going for my ear. Yeah. There's probably spiders in that. Oh.
Not anymore. It's on the side of your faces.
Oh, spiders and dust.
Adrian David asked Fox, how long do you plan to grow your beard? I don't know if he's talking about length of time or length of beard, or as in I plan to grow my beard for 7 years. Or
I don't know until I sit on a park bench one day and somebody gives me money, in which case I'll be like, yeah, I need to trim the beard now. I mean, I have to admit, I'll go into a shop or something, and I kind of can't help thinking that everybody thinks I'm a hobo. It's not.
They've been doing that for years.
I need to work on it. I don't know. I might just let it grow to like biblical proportions. Adrian, Dave Weiser Barker says, Adrian, he will stop growing it after 6 shows.
Boom.
And Michael Jackman's still having trouble. He says he keeps having to drag the play slider to the right to get back live.
What I did notice on the YouTube live stream when I was on my phone before, just watching it as we're waiting for all the lovies to congratulate each other, I noticed that the little videos are not in the corner where everybody on the show is in the corner. That's missing. And I did notice as well that certainly on the iPhone you can actually chat from the going into YouTube.
And the app, yeah,
on the app you can, yes.
I think the 2 little pictures in the corner only appear when there's at least 3. No, they must be there when there's 2.
Don't know.
No, yeah.
I think when there's 2 you don't get them.
You might not
Yeah.
get when there's two people down there.
Remember how we start each day? We say, these guys down here.
Yeah, you always point to the wrong ones.
Yeah, but did you used to do that before I was here?
No, yeah, it did.
Oh,
But
yeah, maybe it did, yeah.
I don't know.
Don't forget, Google's changed something because banners don't work again, so they've probably broken it.
well, I forgot all about the banner. I never even attempted to put it on. I forgot all about it.
Well, that's because you were rushing at the last minute, Ted, so we don't know.
I still had the coat on when I got here.
I know. But the thing is, you've been actually home for 20 minutes. You've been sitting having a brew, hadn't you? Like, well, I'll go in with the coat on. They won't know.
I'll have a brew. Yeah, I'll just let them panic a bit. Yeah, sit back and panic a bit.
Although he did have the ruffled hair of taxi driving, so.
Jamie Bone says Ted's taxi business is called Ted Slap It On Motors.
Slap it on. Slap it on.
I don't know if that works with a taxi firm.
Yeah, slap it on.
If your computer's still working, did you want to do the watch in store before it all breaks and fades away?
Okay, yes. We'll do the what's in store a bit early because my computer was struggling a bit with like 35 tabs open because Chrome. So we shall do the what's in store, then we'll do the giveaways and other stuff. Hello, Ted, you in? I nearly pressed the big red button then, Ted. You're proud of me.
Have we got a theme for this week's what's in store?
Yes, we have.
Yes, we talked about it before we went like, oh, wait.
We have a theme for this week, and this week the theme is Germany. Yeah, we're going to keep doing that joke forever because it's just great. Now I can hear "Oh Canada" from downstairs. Mum's watching it. So this week's theme is Germany. Let me do the magic. Let me lock it on me. Magical share of screen sharing. Application window. The thing is, I was saying to think that the only, for some reason, Ich hat ein Kamerad was in my head and I couldn't get it out.
No, you've done it now. Back in your head now.
So, I think we are sharing. Are we sharing?
Oh, we're sharing.
Yep. Are we sharing?
We're sharing. Yep, we're there.
Now this is where my camera's in the wrong place. Now it's right in where I need it. I need to see.
Yeah, well, this is where I moved the camera out of the way.
Yes, this is what I've just done. So here we go. First thing we've got in is the Tamiya 135th German Assault Pioneer Team and Goliath set. Now the reason this caught me and Chris's eye, because Ted wasn't here, was because when we first saw this picture, we thought, was this from the days when Germans were like 75 feet tall? Because it looks like, we were like, hang on, what's that picture going? It's like a full-size tank and then like massive people in the background. Or is it just some weird perspective? And then we kind of realized, no, it really is some kind of World War II remote control tank device. So maybe it's like a mine detector or an observation thing or something.
Ted probably knows exactly what it was.
Yeah, I think what it was, they used to fill it full of explosives and then drive it out to underneath tanks and things like that, or drive it to the opposing positions and blow it up. It's something that was, I think it developed in the First World War.
Yeah, could they not just throw a grenade like everybody else?
Yeah,
I'm guessing it.
I'm assuming the wire's longer than it looks like it is on that picture. Then
it's like a 5-foot wire.
Yeah, you could just see them driving out, can't you? They sneak into position, they get behind a bush, and they drive it out, left a bit, right a bit, left a bit. Oh bloody hell! It's 5 foot short.
And of course, the enemy people are like, "Oh my lord, there's a tiny, tiny tank. What can that possibly mean? Let's just stand here and watch it."
Totally Scale Model says the bloke with the binoculars must be blind if he can't see that tank.
Yeah, especially as this only got a 5-foot cable on it. It's like, really, your target's right there. Maybe it's just how they deliver drinks to each other. Maybe it's like a really slow messenger system.
Yeah, it could be. Or
maybe it was like did the Germans tend to use squirrels as weapons? It was like a squirrel transportation system, perhaps?
Hello, Hans. We are sending over the beer.
10 minutes later, this thing trundles up. I'm right next to you, thank you. That's a stick. Yeah, so that's the 135th German Assault Pioneer.
Yeah, you could and eModels, you could probably get a radio controlled vehicle very similar to that.
Yeah. Yeah. If you were to get the 1/16 scale to me at Abrams, it's probably about the same size.
Yeah. Just leave the turret off and you could reproduce the German Goliath set. Yes.
So that's the Goliath set, so feel free to grab that one. It's kind of unusual. I think they must have a new artist at Tamiya as well, because if you look at the guy in the middle, normally I've always had great respect for the painters at Tamiya that do the people on the box art. because they're always so fantastic. But for some reason, the guy in the middle looks like he's just stepped out of like Dragon Ball Z. I think they were having a bit of a manga day when he might be one of the new painters. So yeah. Anyway, that's that one. What's next? Next up, we have the Masterbox 135th Volkssturm, Germany 1944 to 1945. But we do some figures because you don't often do figures. Masterbox, you may know, is the company that does all the weird little kits of like a woman getting out of a car in a short skirt and things like that, and the strange little things of Japanese housemaids. But they also do straight up kits as well. And this is a little kit of the Volkssturm, the sort of the civilians that were pushed into service. So you've got sort of a couple of soldiers there, 3 soldiers. You've got 2 civilians. I like the fact that one of the guys is wearing a proper snapper and fedora. I'd get it just for the guy in the fedora.
You have to guess which one of those is the resistance fighter, which one is the escaped prisoner of war, which one is the real German.
But do you notice how whenever there's like a colonel or anybody with the peaked cap, they're always a little bit fat. It's like
a little bit further away from the rest.
Got, like,
they're always standing slightly on their own.
Yeah, so this is kind of towards the end of the war when Berlin and Germany was absolutely battered, and they were basically just calling up anybody to fight, old men and children. Before basically Hitler said just burn the whole place down because they're not worth saving. So this is when the civilians, I think, were kind of pushed into service. And I don't think that's what this is depicting, but it's that kind of period. But it's kind of an interesting little thing. It's not just dudes shooting or running or throwing grenades or shouting. It's actually, you know, civilians as well. So it's kind of interesting. It would make for an interesting diorama set piece. That I think would be quite interesting.
Trout and Shard says, "Oh, models of models modeling as non-model makers."
Hey, that broke my brain.
I noticed Chris Balchin commented that. Did I know that cupola was pronounced cupola? Oh, right.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, cupola.
Don't know about that.
Carry on.
I have to ask as well. This guy on the far left with the Einhelt Feldmann's cap, he was like showing how a rifle works. The rifle kind of doesn't look like a Kar 98. It doesn't look more like a Garand, but he's got a very non-German moustache going on there.
Excuse me, German standing in the street. Can you show me how your rifle works, please?
No, I am not a Russian agent. This is not a Russian moustache. No.
Could you please?
That's a very nice Homburg on that guy anyway. He's got a very nice hat.
Beyond Hope says, "Who has the painting of the fallen Madonna with the big boobies?"
And I've just realised that the guy in the middle is actually showing the woman in the nice blue pretty coat how to use a Sturmfaust. A grenade.
That's a good chat. That's a good chat up technique, isn't it?
Yeah, Panzerfaust, I should say.
Are we sure it's a woman?
It could be. Well, she's got like
that could be the escaped prisoner of war.
Yeah.
So they're like, "You, sir, you can go over there and learn where the bullet goes. Madam, you can carry this explosive weapon." The guy's basically saying, "Point this end away from face." So yeah, $8.99, nice little kit. They do some good figures, Masterbox. So it's probably worth if you're doing a diorama, World War II diorama, and you use some figures, give this a whirl. It's nice. It makes an interesting change from just dudes running and shouting and screaming all the time.
Excuse me, Berlin seems to be getting invaded. Would you mind holding my rifle a moment?
Here's my little tank. Next up we have, now it's not all World War II stuff. I know it's a lot of World War II stuff, but to be honest, when we did this, all I did was go in the search window and type Germany. So if it's all World War II stuff, I'm not responsible. Right, so next up we have a kind of classic German vehicle here. Most airplane makers, builders at some point have made a Chrysler Storch of one type or another. It's a funny little spud, this. I always found it fascinating when I was a kid because it's just some sporty little plane. I think it was more of an observational plane, but and this one isn't German, it's Swiss, but hey.
Yeah. Sergeant Bourne says the Storch is World War II.
Yes, maybe it isn't World War II stuff.
Yeah, it was a reconnaissance plane, wasn't it?
Yes. So it's got a big bulbous canopy and big dangly legs, and it's. But I've built a few of these when I was a kid. It's kind of an interesting looking plane. It's worth a go. I quite like them, and this one's the 1/48 scale, and it's Tamiya, so you can't be going wrong with it anyway. But yeah, if you've never made one before, it's worth giving it a go because it's certainly an interesting aircraft.
Yeah. Nice simple lines. Easy to build. Yeah,
you could kind of go all Mad Max with that as well. There could be some modding to do there to make it all Mad Maxy. And in the way, I don't know if these are actually photo etch parts or is that masks? That might be masks. There are photo etch parts. I think he's probably got more parts than that, though. I don't think that's the entire part count in that picture. Now with 7 parts. Yeah, so give it a try. It's a Tamir, so you can't go wrong. It's always going to be good quality. As a close-up view.
That's quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, and you get yon fella in yon cockpit doing yon flying. Yeah, I quite like that. I've got a soft spot for the Storch. Say most aircraft builders have made one at some point when they were a kid. What's next? Right, well, next up, we're going away from World War II. We're going for a big boat.
Oh, boats.
I like big boats, and I cannot lie. For £8.9, I really cannot lie.
Yeah, this is the sort of a German equivalent of the lifeboat, isn't it? The RNLI.
Well, it's actually one of the most modern ships of this type in the world. It is the largest ocean-going rescue ship ever to enter service in Germany. There you go. I knew that off the top of my head. I didn't read it down there or anything.
No, we could tell.
It was stationed in the North Sea island of Not Legoland, Helgoland. I've read it as Legoland. Stationed off the shore of Legoland. This is one of Revell's 1/200 scale ship kits. Your tugs are... What size are your tugs?
They're 144, funnily enough.
Yeah.
So this is smaller.
Well, seeing how big your tugs are at 1/144 scale, and how big a person will be on this thing, it's probably quite a big boat for £8. You're going to get for your money out of this.
Yeah,
I would think.
So it's all it is, £8.
Yeah, £8 and 9 space pence of your Earth money.
Oh, wow.
So it's not going to be a complicated kit. It's probably got a thing that says more than 5 parts. It's not going to be a complicated kit. It'll be a good weekend build type, I think. But for £8.9, you can't go wrong, can you?
I think there'd be a lot of scope for weathering and work in that rather than just the building. Because boats can be
how big would you say your tugs are, Chris? How long would you say they are?
They're about that long.
Like they can't see you, can they?
No. About 5 or 6 inches.
Yeah. So given that this is going to be a bigger boat in real life, it's 1 to 200.
It's probably about the same sort of scale.
Yeah. So you're going to get a nice big boat for your £8 and 9 pence.
Yeah. I bet you could. I bet you could actually. Yeah, you could. I bet even at that size, and I have seen it done. You can get some micro servos and some micro motors, and it could actually make it really controlled. It would actually work.
Yeah. And there probably are lots of third-party things out there for, you can replace the railings and things with photo etch. Not necessarily for that ship specifically, but 1/200 scale ships. So
I think that boat has been out quite a while, actually, that kit.
Yeah, it's £8, 9p. It's going to be one of their older releases.
Yeah. But, you could certainly still, even at that scale, make it radio controlled.
Oh, yeah.
That says it only needs £28 worth of paint.
Yeah. The model details, it says it's got a detailed 2-part hull with bow thrusters, handrails on deck, detailed superstructure, authentic radar mast. Why would they put a non-authentic radar? What's a non-authentic radar mast? Searchlights, 3 water cannon, a winch, a helicopter landing platform, crane, detailed inshore craft and inflatable, an extensive decal set, including identification markings.
Beyond Hope says it's got 78 parts, and Osric says it's 23 centimeters long. I think it said that on the box. I did just try to scroll
here on the screen while I'm looking at now.
I can't scroll up and down on your picture.
78 parts, 230 millimeters, skill level 3. Yeah, 2002 it came out.
Yeah, that's nearly a.
£8.9.
A foot long. That's nearly a foot long, and it's quite a big boat.
Yeah, and what you could do is if you get yourself a real cheap space shuttle set as well, you could put some thrusters on it and make it just like spaceship shit.
You've got to do a big water diorama with big waves.
Yeah, or little waves.
No, it's got to be big waves. Look at the picture.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like a tsunami in the background. I think the artist was channeling the famous Japanese painting of the wave when he was doing that background bit. Anyway, it's not all World War II. £8, 9p. If you don't pick that up, what do you get for £8 now?
Yeah, it's a good little pocket money kit. Yeah, a weekend.
Spend that much on a coffee at Starbucks, and all you'd have is a cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's one of them builds that you build between your builds.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not into boats, but I'd probably get one of them just because this is £8 and I can have some fun with it. Yeah, what's next? Right, well, we're going back to World War II. Sorry, however, it is not the militaries this time, and it's actually post World War II. We've got the German passenger car type 170V saloon, 4 doors. From Mini Art. As always with Mini Art, they have a lady getting out of the car, which seems to be the norm. But this looks like a really nice little kit. It kind of has a Citroen 5CV look to it, but it's obviously German, not it's a Mercedes. I don't know why they don't just say it's a Mercedes on it though. Maybe they haven't got a license.
It's got a little badge on there, isn't it? So it's definitely
but maybe it's like Tamir when they don't say it's an Opel Blitz, they call it a German cargo truck. So there's probably a reason why they can't do it as Mercedes. But I love cars like that. You know, this kind of car just reminds me of Tintin.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid and I was learning how to draw stuff, I used to like study Tintin a lot for his drawing style, and that taught me how to draw vintage cars. $28.99 for this 1/35th scale. So again, it's going to be a great bit of a diorama background, or you could army it up. You could do it in military colors if you've got some seated figures, 1/35th officers and so on. You could put them in there and make it a field car. I'm sure it's probably just as valid as a field car. But yeah, I quite like that. I like.
You can even do it if people are really into weathering and things like that. They could do it as a barn find, couldn't they? I'm sure there's lots of these cars just lying around in the back of barns, barns with tarpaulin over them.
Yeah, there used to be a guy who lived down my avenue when I was a kid, house on the end of the avenue, and he had in his garage loads of vintage cars like that. And I was like 7. This is like in the 70s. So they're only really 30 years old and like 40 years old. But to me, they were like, wow, these are like prehistoric vintage cars. And they're amazing because they had a certain smell to them that I've not smelled since. Old vintage cars like that.
Newsflash, Michael Jackman's pizza's arrived.
Oh, shit, what's on it?
I don't know. Someone asked, is it Nutella and Marmite? But he hasn't answered yet. I think
it's not as good as that. Yeah. Right. And what else have we got? We've got one more to go. So there you go. There's a 1/35th Mini Yacht passenger car type 170 V4. I don't know why they don't just say it's a Mercedes. But maybe they haven't got the license. Maybe it's illegal. They're being illegal and everything. Oh, I'd rather just have the 1/35th scale Junkers JU52 that's behind her, actually, to be honest. Imagine how big that model kit would be.
That's the one built out of corrugated tin, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's the only 2 World War II planes I've any interest in building are a Ju-52 and a Dakota.
What was the name of the program where was it Guns of Navarone or something? Wasn't there a program that started with one of those?
They got used a lot.
Yeah, they've been in loads of films, but there was a particular film, I can't remember its name now, where one of those was on the open sequence, and I think the hero was parachuting out of it.
So Tony Black says they were still driving them around when he was a kid.
Oh, cool.
Where Eagles Dare, said Zadster. That's probably it.
Yeah. The thing is that, like, when I was a kid and you look at these cars, and when I was a kid, these were vintage cars. When you think about it logically, they were only like 30 years old.
Yeah.
And I've had cars that are older than that. Like, were older than 30 years old when I had them. So it's like, when it was a kid, that was a vintage car. But, like, to a kid born now, your Vauxhall Chevette will be a prehistoric vintage car. It's really weird.
It's like when we all first started driving, all we could afford was about 40-year-old Ford Escorts or something like that. But now these kids of today, they don't have second-hand, they buy brand new.
I still don't understand when you get these like 18-year-olds driving around in their brand new sporty Clio with all the trim and everything or whatever it is. Like, where did they get the money?
Yeah.
I was working for 20 years before I could afford a car. And even then it was a crap car.
That's how we built our mechanical knowledge and fix it. You had to fix your cars, fill the sills with chicken wire and newspaper to get it through its MOT.
Yeah. I actually had an Escort estate where the only way to keep the bonnet shut was to tie some garden wire around the locking mechanism on the bonnet and wrap it around the grille and tie it in a knot. Yeah. So to open the bonnet, you had to undo all the garden wire.
Yeah, there was none of this nipping down to Quick Fit to get your exhaust done because it had a hole in it. It was a bean tin and a couple of Jubilee clips that seems to sort that out.
Yeah. Anyway, that's that one. So one more for the What's in Store, and that is the German Camo Weathering Set Ammo by Mig Jimenez.
Yes. Yeah.
Another one of the wonderful ammo sets. And in this set, you have mud splashes. You have the German Dark Yellow for dark. You have Dark Earth. I can't recommend Dark Earth enough, and Streaking Grime. Streaking Grime is fantastic for lots of things. You can do a gunk wash with it. It's brilliant. If you've got a model and you've forgotten to pre-shade it, you can coat it, and you can brush Streaking Grime on, and then wipe it off with a cotton bud, a dry cotton bud, and you'll get a pro shading effect. I did that on that little ALL 90 that I'm doing. I didn't pre-shade it. I just used Streaking Grime. Dark Earth. It looks like soil. It smells like soil. It's brilliant. I love it.
Is it soil?
Yeah, it's basically soil.
soil in a tin. Yeah.
And you also get a filter at the back. I can't quite see which one it is, but it's a yellowy filter. Yeah, it's like a nice. You get the wash for German dark yellow. You get streak and grime, tan for the 3-tone camo, dry steppe, dark earth. And again, they're all designed to complement that camo scheme. So these aren't the actual colors you're going to use for the camo scheme. This is the weathering that's going to go on top of it to make it all blend in.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I know people that say that they make their own weathering powders and they make their own weathering washes and things like that. But there's nothing wrong with having some of this stuff in stock just for that moment when you think, I need some streak and grime on it, rather than going through the procedure of making it all up. Just drag the bottle out.
I mean, I've made my own pigments and things and earths before.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But now in later life and later in my years, I can get to the point where I'm like, you know what? The people that make these products, they've done that as well, and then they've come up with products that actually make it a lot easier. Like they've taken the difficulties out, so these can just be slapped on. I really can't recommend Streak and Grime and Dark Earth enough. They are fantastic.
Yeah, it's consistent as well, and it stays in the bottle. You can leave it in the bottle, just bring it out when you want it, rather than have to make it all up.
Yeah, it's convenience. But yes, you certainly can make your own. But anyway, yes, this set, £20.69. It's a fantastic set. You're going to use all of those quite regularly. Yeah. And as it says in the blurb, it can go on any German camo. It's just to do the weathering that fits with the camouflage scheme. So it kind of, you wouldn't, you might put like the wrong, not that you put the wrong weathering on, but if you've got a certain camo scheme, it's going to be a certain theatre of war.
I can't quite read it here. Does it say what colour the filter is?
It says there's a wash for German dark yellow and there's a tan for 3-tone camo. So I think it's a tan for 3-tone camo.
Yeah, it just ties all. Yeah, I've recently become a convert to filters, and it's fantastic. Used right, it will tie all your colours together.
I mean that's the thing where you can say you can make your own filters by thinning paint quite a lot. You can do. I've tried doing it, and actually filters work better than my own homemade filters, because if you don't get it exactly right, you've basically just made a wash.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, it just saves a lot of hassle. I was going to use a filter on my Aieeeeee 90 and I couldn't find it. I was like, oh. So that is the what's in store. So let me press the magic button.
Michael Jackman
whoa, not that magic button.
Michael Jackman's reported back with his pizza toppings. He's got double cheese, mushroom, bacon, pineapple. No tomato sauce or tomato, as he is allergic to it.
No. I appreciate the pineapple part. That's quite good. I like pineapple.
No, you can't have pineapple on pizza.
Some people think that pineapple on pizza is illegal, but it
shouldn't be allowed.
Nice.
No.
Well, if anybody wants to send a pizza round, pineapple, ham, cheese, I'll give it a try, and I'll report back. If you just email me, and ask me for my address.
Send a pizza to Ted at eModels.
Ted at nomnomnomnom.com.
Yeah, I'll provide you with the Domino's telephone number for Barrow.
You know what makes me sad? There's not many places do anchovies anymore.
Are they extinct?
Yeah. There was a comment on there. Adrian Davies says, I have plenty of earth in my garden. Yeah, you can make your own earth powders and things like that. The one thing I found with things like the pre-made ones, like the ammo one there and the even the Humbros stuff, is that when you apply them, they look like soil. But if you then use the various thinners and other products, you can get different effects from them that you don't get with actual earth because it's not quite as soluble as the powders. Because it's just paint pigment, basically. But yeah, you can make your own. Just use real soil. Just make sure when you make it and you do it all, there's nothing living in it. I remember when I was much younger, I was very, very young, and I made a diorama with some actual soil and stuff. And I did it all, and I didn't put a varnish on it, but I kind of sealed it with something. I can't remember what. I was only like 12 or 13. And I made this thing, and about a week later, it sat there on my shelf, and there's things crawling out of it. I'm like, oh. I think I brought in some kind of tiny baby egg type things in the soil, and there were things hatching. I'm like, I've got to throw that out now. Oh. So yeah, just make sure your soil's not actually alive.
Dave Barker says they sell anchovies on the deli counter.
Oh, I don't know if I like them as they are, but I like them on pizzas.
Totally Scale Model says, if you can just put your address on here, Ted, then they'll
unfortunately,
if you can put your address and your bank details.
Yeah, I'll put that on. Unfortunately, I can't type a Q can't type Q, so I can't get all the address.
Which is why living at 12 Queequeg Street is probably
Queensbury, Queensland.
Queensbury, Craig.
Yeah.
So Dave said about them selling in the deli. I used to go to a deli that did, first of all, burnt sugar fudge, which is the nicest fudge ever. But it used to have little foam cups with things in, like olives or bits of fruit or tiny octopuses. It actually had little cups of tiny octopuses, like that big.
Were they alive?
No, they were dead and pickled. And it was bizarrely, they were quite nice. But I kind of felt bad because I kept thinking they were like babies. They weren't, they were just tiny. So I did it once. I'm like, I can't do that again because I just feel guilty. I like octopuses.
Tim and Mindy Bickersdyke say you should always put the soil in a very hot oven.
Yes, it kills off all known germs dead.
Yeah.
There you go. So that was what's in store. Remember, as we always say, if any of those did tickle your fancy, don't hang around. Go and get it sorted out now. Keep watching the stream, obviously. But open a browser tab and stick it. What do they do, Ted?
Hey, slap it in your basket.
Yeah, slap it in your basket. Because often what we find is, like I said at the start of the show, if there's a few people watching, go, oh, I fancy that, they'll all do it. And by the time you get there, it's gone.
Yeah,
Pete often tells us that they sell out of stuff before the end of the show when we show it on the screen, on the telly screen.
Well, one thing as well to remember, don't leave it in your basket forever. You've got to check it out before it's yours.
Yes.
Because that's what happens. Say the guys have one tin of paint in stock and you put it in your basket while you go away and have your dinner or something else. You come back and you find the paint's gone out your basket because it will only check it out. It will only allocate it to you once it's been checked out.
Yeah.
So
and don't forget, of course, we don't know how many things they've got in stock. They might have, for some kits they might have 20 or 30 of them, or for other kits they might have like 2. Yeah. So if something does tickle your fancy, don't sit on your hands. Go grab it and stick it in your basket.
Yeah. And as for the MIG stuff, they've had a huge order arrived for MIG. I think they've had MIG, Hasegawa, Tamiya. There's been huge deliveries at eModels this past few weeks. So go and have a look.
Massive orders come in. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to talk about offal.
That's awful. That is.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I used to eat it when I was a kid, but I didn't know any different then. What's this? It's just get it in your teeth.
What is it? It's awful. Yeah, I know it is, but what is it?
It's all you've got. Eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Should we do some giveaway things?
Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
Oh,
I was going to ask a question about. I was going to ask a question about one of the things I've shown on what's in store, but like a spoon, I actually closed down all the tabs showing what was in store. So that kind of shot myself in the foot there. So I've got to think of a question now. Unless you got any questions via email, Ted, that you're here with us.
No, we've only got the one.
I mean, like quiz questions, not actual.
Oh, quiz questions. Yeah, I've got a question.
Okay, well, let's do. What do you want to do? Do you want to do a sticker and then a mug? Are we doing what?
Should we do a sticker? Yeah,
they haven't got mugs in yet, but we're still giving them away. Is that?
I haven't heard any more about the mug situation, but I'm sure James would have given me an update when they've come in. So if you've won
haggis in chat, and I'm hungry now.
If you win a mug, you may not be dispatched immediately because you haven't got them.
Yes.
But we'll, as it's the live stream, we'll hold your details in the backroom files. When they arrive, get one sent out to you.
My camera's still in the wrong place. I forgot to move it, didn't I? Yes, they don't have any mugs in stock at all, but we are agents of chaos, so we'll still give them away.
Yeah.
Yes. So do you want to go first, Chris, with your... Oh, no, we've got some questions, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got a question there. So...
Yeah.
Now, remember...
the Ted has returneth.
What we'll do is we'll do stickers and mugs. Now, remember, these are for the guys in chat. So if you're not watching on the YouTube channel and you don't see the chat, click on the little YouTube icon at the bottom right of the player and go to the YouTube channel, and the chat will be on there. And that's where you'll be able to join in. If you've already got a sticker or you've already got a mug and you want another one, feel free. Absolutely welcome to have 1 million of them if you want. If you've already got a sticker and a mug and you don't want another one, though, don't answer the questions. Let somebody else have a go. And as always, we do it. The first comment that we see that's got the right answer, we see the chat differently to you guys. So that's why sometimes you might answer first at your end, but you're not the first one that we see. So.
And as we said before, if you haven't got your sticker yet, it's because we'll wait to the end of the month that we can get them all sent out at once in a batch. just in case people win more than one sticker and things like that. So you'll get your sticker in due course.
Yeah, when Ted goes to the post office.
When I go to the post office, yeah, because I don't pass the post
trip to the island.
Ted goes to the post office sounds like one of them Penguin books.
Yeah. Sort of 1960s, 1950s style England suburban house. Ted goes to the post office.
Ted goes to the post office. Ted meets.
I've got Runaway Rocking Horse playing in the background. Walks out of the house with an umbrella on his arm. Little Trilby.
Yeah.
The post office.
You see, you're on with the first bit. This is Ted.
Yes.
Learn to read with Ted.
This is Ted, and he's a middle-class gentleman going to the post office. Let's follow him today.
Here is Ted having his breakfast. Yeah, those little bit books. I remember them well. This is a policeman. He is most helpful.
I used to love watching like old newsreels where they'd like ask the man on the street, and it was always like they'd either get like a proper like middle class type banker type. They're going, well, I don't believe in this because of this. This is what I think, and he's like, you're an idiot. And then they get the working class. This is like 1950 style. They get the working class guy, and he'd be there, and they'd never look at the camera and go, well, I don't believe in that, nor never have I. No, not at all. And you just know he's thinking, I don't know what the guy just asked me. There's a camera, I'm terrified.
Yeah, Ted, the new Mr. Ben. Yeah, and suddenly Ted appears.
As if by magic.
Yes.
Yeah, as if by magic, Ted appears.
All the food talk.
The magic shopkeeper.
Robert Blaylock says, I love all the animals, they're tasty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If we're not meant to eat meat, why are animals made of it?
Mm.
I see.
Yeah, Dave said the other butcher he works with is a vegan. How did he work that out?
Well, he doesn't eat it, he just does it. Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, questions. Are we doing questions?
Question.
Should we do and sticker first of all?
Yeah, we'll do a sticker. Yeah. We'll do an eModel sticker.
eModel sticker. Now remember, you can't answer the question until Ted says go. And as always, this is a question that somebody sent in, so they'll get a sticker as well.
Yeah,
if you sent this question in, make sure to mail. Well, you've already mailed Ted with your name and address. If you haven't sent your name and address,
this is Adrian, David.
Great, David.
Yep. So we owe Adrian a few stickers when we get to the end of the month and payday.
And remember, don't forget, of course, we have no idea if the answer is right or wrong. We trust the person asking the question.
Don't care either, really.
Yeah, we don't.
This is really strange question. I don't know where Adrian got this from. Once upon a time, he begins. Once upon a time.
Are we sitting comfortably?
Yeah, sitting comfortably. You at the back, sit down. Sit down and shut up.
Fingers on lips.
Yeah. Once upon a time, newborn baby girls were dressed in blue, and newborn baby boys were dressed in pink. Are you like in a sofa? And newborn baby boys were dressed in pink. Then it all changed. Blue for boys, pink for girls. What year was that? What's the answer? What year did things change and boys start wearing blue and girls start wearing pink? That's the end of the story. Go.
I didn't even know there was a year it changed.
Yeah, I know it changed, but I didn't know there was a particular year. We've got some answers. I don't know what year it was, so...
I didn't know either. I didn't know about this.
1987, 1897, 1920, 19
Seymour Bobbington's very close, but not right. Just guess.
They're just getting lots of numbers too quick now, so Ted, keep up and read them.
Yeah, I'll have to hold my finger on it.
There's a potential for at least 200 different answers here. So. You've got at least
Michael Jackman says 892 BC. I think he might be a little bit out.
Mind you, some boys still wear pink.
Yeah. When you used to get photographs of like boy babies and they'd be wearing like dresses and things.
Tony Black says bound to be a Victorian thing. No, it wasn't actually.
Oh.
Dave, where's the rum gone? Says it's very 1975,
close. Just after lunch.
Dick Dolan says 2018 when the baby clothes came with gender neutral labels.
I do remember in Victorian times they used to dress boys in dresses, didn't they?
That's what I just said a minute ago.
I take it nobody's got it yet.
No, James Chapman's very close. So if you remember what, yeah. No, it's not Edwardian. No, is it Edwardian? I can't quite remember the years of the.
Sergeant Barry says 40k. Oh no, wait, that's only war.
Robert Blaylock's got an answer from Google.
Phil Kett's very close. Dave Barker's very close. So it's James Chapman. We're getting in the right. There we go, James Chapman. Yes, well done. 1926. That's the answer we've got here. So the winner is James Chapman with the first correct answer.
Well done, James.
Well done. I didn't know that. You learned. See the amount of things you learn on this channel.
Pop an eModel to Ted. I'll put the email address in the thing. eModels.co.uk. I can't type and talk and present and. Yep. So send a. Also, I can't press send either. It would seem.
Trot Chad says 2:30 Ks.
Yep. So send an email to ted@emodels.co.uk with your name and address.
Yep.
You've already got Adrian's name and address, then, haven't you, Ted? So
yeah, we owe Adrian a few stickers.
Robert Blaylock says Google's a bloody liar.
Yeah, Google don't. Either that or the person who sent the question in might be. But you know.
Yes, we don't assume any. We make no fact checking promises.
Yeah. So if we get the if it's totally the wrong answer, I'll send you Adrian David's address.
You can settle it that way.
Yeah, good.
Right, so that's a sticker. What John did? Should we do a mug or another sticker?
Yeah, we'll do a mug. We'll do a
mug. Because we don't have to do anything when there's a mug. We just ask the question and then it's somebody else's problem.
Michael Jackman said General Strike 926. Was it?
Yeah. Do we have another question? Or do you want to do your question, Chris, that you had earlier on? You won't get a sticker, though.
Do I get a mug?
No. You already got one.
Oh,
yeah, you've got one. You've wasted it. You filled it.
Did you have another question, Ted, or should I?
No, I haven't got another question this week.
I have a question prepared because we organised things this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not here, so you get organised.
Yep.
Yeah,
I most of it.
Well,
okay.
I was organised. I was going to ask a particular question, but I closed all those tabs down because I forgot. So we're not that organised.
No, quite organised. Okay, I have a question. So I'm not going to tell a big story about it because that's no.
In the beginning, there were dinosaurs.
Once upon a time. No.
Once upon a time.
Right, the plane I'm building. What's it called? Go.
I forgot.
Either the name or the number.
Oh, you're asking a question. Sorry. Yeah.
I wasn't asking you. Just as well you didn't remember.
Bike, Uxbridge,
4 foot tall.
Plane.
A plane.
141.
C141, 114 Starlifter. Are you watching the chat?
Yeah, no, I was, but you were saying things that weren't here yet. But yeah, Robert Blaylock will have it with C141.
Yeah, I did say yeah. I said it when he put it up.
You said it, but it didn't scroll up on my screen. But yes.
The
141, C141. It is a Starlifter as well, but I said name or number, so yeah.
So who's that then?
That was the first one, Robert Blaylock.
Well done. Send Ted your email, Robert.
Congratulations on your muggage.
For some reason, I've got the name Stairlift in my head. The C141 Stairlift. It's the Stanner Stairlift.
Yeah, that's a little bit different.
C141 Stairlift. Sponsored by Stanner.
We've got a frog in my throat tonight.
Freedom Bird. I don't know about that. Is it official?
So well done for our mug and stickery winners.
Yep. As I say about the mug, we'll get the mug sent by. Yeah, I dropped the guys. I forwarded details onto the guys at eModels, and as soon as I get the mugs in, they'll send them out.
Yeah, don't forget when you're mailing in and you've won a prize, by the way, do put in the mail what you've actually won.
Yeah.
If you win a prize like a kit or something, because the guys in store won't know what you've won.
Don't lie.
Which reminds me, I forgot what last week's giveaway was.
Well, you have, but I haven't. Because
we're organised.
No, with that, Ted.
Oh, right. Oh, I'll have to come in. I'll have to come in 15 minutes each week and you get organised.
Don't you worry your pretty little head. We've done all that. Right, now, yes, let's do last week's giveaway. So if you remember last week, we were giving away, I haven't actually got it queued up as a tab you can look at, but we're giving away one of the, I have it written down in my magical notebook. I don't just use a whiteboard, I use an actual notebook.
A
real colour set of your choice.
Oh, yes, it was, wasn't it?
From the 4 or 5 different colour sets that are there. and a Tamiya catalogue for 2018. And you were able to choose one of the actual real colour sets. They're like 4 colour sets, 4 colours in a set, different colour schemes. You'd be able to choose one. So whoever wins this, you just need to drop Ted an email or get in contact some other way with which of the colour sets you would like. And the winner was, we did our random comment picker, pick a comment.
Randomly.
To comment randomly. Ted, Fox, Chris and I. And we asked you last week we were going on the making silly noises theme, and we said, write down what it sounds like when you drop the best kebab you've ever had in your entire life. And it's in front of you, and you drop it onto an expensive carpet. And the winner with the comment, splat, no! In slow motion. Was comment number 25, which was commented by Right TV, couldn't it, with these pauses? Comment by Dave Weiser and Gun Barker. Well done, Dave. You've got yourself one of them real colour sets, so drop Ted a message. Let him know which one you would like.
Robert Blaylock says he just realised he forgot to enter. You've got to remember to come back after the stream.
Yeah, come back after the stream within a week. So yeah, Dave Rum. That's the point. Dave, where's the Rum gone back? And then can ask him if he could throw a sticker in, so he gets a sticker as well.
Yeah. So there you go. So well done, Dave. I dropped Ted a note. Yeah. He says, "Cool, thank you." Yeah.
Good. We expect feedback on the colour sets as well. And
we all want to paint all the things with those paints.
We all want a look. Yeah. Can you send the Tamiya catalogue around? Because we all want a look.
Yeah, but just make sure you unstick all the pages and stuff first. Coffee stains.
Thank you, James. I've got your email. I've got your thank you very much.
Lovely. Ted Scale Model says Fox is going to team up Deck next week.
Yeah, the Fox and Ant show.
Yeah.
No, because wait, isn't Ant the one that's got arrested for drink driving, or is it Deck?
Yeah, one of them.
Is it?
I can't stand either of them. I find them both equally annoying and tedious.
Was it the one on the left or the one on the right?
It was the one in the middle, I think. It was I think they got it.
And
yeah, well, one's pregnant and one's an idiot for drink driving, apparently. So there
yeah, don't drink and drive. Spilled your beer.
I'm not sure if that means that they think you should be put in prison or something. If they're telling you to team up with one of them.
Yeah, not tag teaming in prison. That's a whole different
Don't team up with the other one. No.
Yeah, we won't go there. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Okay. So that just leaves us now with this week's giveaway. Now I haven't come up with a giveaway for this week, but let's do this week's giveaway.
You're most efficient at this.
I know it's good, isn't it? It's nice when you can sit back and go.
Yeah.
Now you know why I like doing this stream when we're not doing our own streams, because I have to do all the stuff on our own streams. When we do our own streams, Ted is always sitting at his desk like sanding or filing or something. So
I'm surprised he's not doing that now, actually.
Well,
I might do actually. I'm sorry. Just carry on. I'm just editing this video.
I'm just downloading these movies and playing this game.
Yeah, it's just a test tonight, so that when I move house, I'm just assessing your abilities to leave you in charge. That was it.
Kenneth M says, "Don't drink Drive. It's a washing powder." So I guess that's an Australian washing powder called Drive.
Ah, Drive. Remember Drive?
Yeah.
No.
Don't drink Drive. It's a washing powder.
There was Drive, Omo, Purcell. We still get Purcell, don't we? What else was there?
Ariel's still around.
Ariel's still around. It was Omo in the big red and white box, wasn't it?
Omo is, I think, even before our time, Ted. You might be extending back a bit further there.
You can't wash with Odo.
No, not Odo. Odo's there. Oh, I forgot to say what I've been working on this week as well. I can't really talk about it because it's nothing to do with the eModels, but I've painted a super mutant that you guys probably can't see because it's too small. I've painted a super mutant. And I've yet to paint dog meat. Half of the audience will know what that all means. Anyway, should we give something away?
Give something away, folks.
Am I going at a roller coaster pace for you here, Ted? You're like, whiplash.
Yeah, I remember when you come back from giving things away, you're supposed to be out of focus.
Damn. I can't do that. I don't have a thing on the front. I can't. I could get a bit of. I could get a bit of tissue. Maybe
You
that'll
have
work.
to
Hang on.
move further away from the camera.
I've not got any. I've got a bit of bog roll. That might work. How's that?
No, you just can't see anything now.
No. Let's put it there.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
What if I smear my glasses lens? Then everything will be out of focus to me.
Everything, yeah.
That'd work. Right, let's have a bit of a screen share, and we shall share what we are giving away this week.
Adrian David says, seeing as Ted was late, does it mean he's got to do an extra 25 minutes?
Yeah,
I'll stay behind after the stream and won't leave. I won't go to bed until 15 minutes after the stream's finished, I promise.
Right, I'm going to screen share now.
Have you locked it on you? Have you locked it on you?
Huh? Is it
you
locked on me?
Before we do that, I've got to jump in. Phil Lewis says that there'll be some fallout for that.
Anyway, here's what we're giving away this week. I'm moving my camera again. It's in the way.
Huh?
Oh,
that's nice. Yes, nice bike that.
Yes, so this week we're giving away the Tamiya 112 scale Yamaha RZ250 limited edition model kit, which looks pretty nice.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not a motorbike guy, so to me, it's a motorbike. That's all.
I'll write the giveaway down so I don't forget what it is next week.
Yep. Now that bike you did, Chris, that was a 112, wasn't it?
No, that was 1.6.
That was 1.6.
It was
Tamiya are well known for doing the excellent quality bikes, and this is a limited edition. I don't know if that actually means it has specific decals that are limited to the kit. Let's have a look. Scale 112 construction type assembly kit. Well, duh. Photo etch parts not included, so there'll be an extra. Decals included. Double cradle frame, vinyl tubing included to depict brake and meter cables. Cowlings can be removed. Synthetic rubber tires and cartograph decals. You can't go wrong with cartograph decals. Look at that. See,
it looks nice and white. Yeah, I've seen these around on the road. I'm a little bit like you. I don't know much about motorbikes, but I do sort of.
Yeah. So even I know this is a nice looking bike, and I don't even do bikes.
It's quite a classic, isn't it?
And I can't get off this picture now. It won't let me. How do I? There's no get rid of picture option. What?
You're stuck with that picture forever now.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, I think if you roll over the picture, will it come up in the corner? You probably can't see it because it's. Can't see it because it's white.
Hey, well, let's just go back. Let's just go back to there. I know why. It's because it was showing me a photograph from the back end rather than from the actual website. So there we go. I shouldn't have clicked on that. Oh, get me in trouble now. So there we go. So very nice Yamaha RZ250. And this is what we're going to be giving away in next week's show. What we need you to do is, as always, this is open to everybody, not just people on the live stream and not just people in chat. So don't put any answers in chat now. What we need you to do is wait till this stream is finished, give it 5-10 minutes, go to the eModels YouTube page, find this week's video, and put a comment on that video with whatever we tell you to write there. And then we will pick one at random next Monday, and that person will win this kit, this epic kit. So I think we should ask them to make a noise again.
Can we have the classic, what noise does a motorbike make?
How about what noise does a terrible motorbike make?
What's a terrible motorbike?
What noise does a British motorcycle make?
Yeah, okay. What noise does a terrible English British?
It's got brum, bup, 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 bup.
I don't know. What's the sound of somebody constantly doing the kickstart over and over and over again? So yes, if you'd like to win this kit, then when this stream's finished, go and find the video for it in about 5 or 10 minutes on the eModels channel. In the comments, write down the sound a terrible English motorbike makes, like an old knackered, really not been looked after.
Yep.
Like you need to get somewhere fast because you'll get fired if you're late again, but your bike won't start.
Yeah, an old Blackbird with a sidecar.
Yeah, something like that.
Don't forget to come back and watch it and comment. Don't go complaining next week in the chat that you forgot to enter.
Yeah, because if you forget to enter, you got to be in it to win it. You snooze, you lose. So that's what you can win. So yeah, just write down the noise of a terrible old knackered English motorbike. No swearing, please. It's a family show.
Yeah.
Let me stop sharing that. There we go.
I remember going to a motorcycle show, having a look around a couple of years ago, and it was an English it was a British motorcycle show. It was a British motorcycle club showing off the bikes. Every one of them had a piece of card underneath the engine.
Yeah.
For the oil drips.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah. Dick Dolan says, "Start you bloody heap," or words to that effect.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my neighbour used to have a motorbike. It was an old, I can't remember. It was an old Yamaha that everybody had in the 70s and 80s. It was like a famous one, like a cheap one. And you wake up in the morning for school, and all you hear from next door is because he'd be constantly trying the kickstart to get it going for like 20 minutes. And I swear he must have developed like a thigh, like a tree trunk on one side.
But then again, you used to have to do that with cars, didn't you? Old cars, you always used to start multiple times before they actually kicked in.
Yeah.
You don't do that with modern cars. Just turn the key and they start.
But when I was a kid, like the neighbours would always have their cars charging. They'd have cables coming out to charge their cars. It's like, were batteries really that kind of inept in those days?
Yeah. And
I have to charge mine now.
I remember my dad having a Wolseley. And used to start that with a starting handle.
Yeah, my dad used to have a way back in the 50s. He used to drive a Wolseley, apparently. Our first ever family. What was your first ever family car? Not you, your family, but when you were a kid. Our first ever family car was a Hillman Imp.
Yeah, ours was a Wolseley. I can't remember the model of it, but it was like
enormous,
a bubble shape. No,
we had a Renault. I can't remember what model it was, but it was just an old Renault that was not great.
Yeah. We had a Hillman Imp that lasted for years till the point where you were literally bits of the floor were falling. You could see the road. I don't need this car anymore.
Yeah, Renault only ever made cars with numbers on them, didn't they? They didn't, Renault 25, Renault 12, Renault 10. Yeah. Somebody wasn't very imaginative at Renault at the time.
They weren't in order either. It wasn't like we built a 6 last year, we built a 7 this year. No, it wasn't.
No, it's the French. They don't do that. It's like Renault and Citroën now. There's no designer. They don't have a consistent design. Every car looks different.
Hello, designer.
Robin. Phil Lewis says Morris Minor.
Yeah.
Phil Kett says Mark 1 Cortina. Morris Traveller says Tim and Mindy moved. Tim and Mindy Bickerdike. With the flip-up indicator, says Phil.
Oh, yeah, that Wolseley had flip-up indicators.
Yeah. Robert Blaylock gives away his location and says 1949 Ford Woody Wagon.
Another thing you used to have at the time was you used to have parking lights on your car.
Yeah, that's true. Beyond Hope says, Fox, a few cars around me have charging cables on them overnight. They're electric cars. History repeating itself.
Yeah, true.
You're just ahead of the times.
Yeah, what happens with these electric cars then? When they say that, in 20 odd years we're going to do away with petrol and diesel cars, everybody should go electric. What if you live in a block of flats? What if you're at the top? You'd never get your car up there to charge.
Long extension lead.
Yeah, long extension lead. Yeah.
Well, it's a bit like saying, how do you fill up your car? Or how do you put petrol in your car if you live in a block of flats? You just go to a petrol station. So they'd have charging points. I think the idea is that by the time that happens, we'll have batteries that can charge in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You'd have to send the wife upstairs to the top flat, wouldn't you? You can drop the cable down now.
It's like, I need to charge the car. You'll need the extension cable for that, mate.
Yeah. Jamie Bone asks, does eModels have any 1/20th scale diorama bases for F1 cars, as he recently got a new Tamiya 1/20th Ferrari F1 car?
I'm searching now for diorama base.
Diorama bases. Don't think they play the scale, do they?
Some of those display bases that they have, I'm sure I've seen a diorama base.
You have
quarter scale model, quarter scale.
I'm looking at one now, which happens to have a Formula One car in it. It's,
there you go. Yes, is the answer to your question there?
Yes. Tamiya display case P280 by 130 by 90. The code for it, you want to write it down, is 73020. And it happens to have a Formula One car in it. There'll be different scales in there, so do have a look. What does it say? It says, display case features inner dimensions, blah, blah, blah. 73004 display case C, which enables display of 1/20th scale modern Formula One car models. So 73004 or 73020. Put them in the search window and they'll come straight up. I just put the word display in and it brought those up straight away. You went all quiet then. I thought maybe I closed the window by mistake.
No, I'm just reading the chat. Everybody's talking about the bikes and
old cars and bikes.
Seems to we've opened a can of worms there with electric cars.
Can of worms.
Can of worms. Roy says, yeah, he remembers having a park. If you parked on the road, you used to have your side lights on. Yeah, that would be no good for the battery. Yeah. What else was there? His dad's restoring his granddad's Rover P2.
Do cars still do that? If you put your indicator on with your engine off, it still put the little side lights on a little bit on that side?
No idea.
No, they don't do it. No, I don't
when
think
I
it's
park, I just get out and go away.
Now the cars that'll do everything, and they're all battery reliant. You get out the car and the headlights come on, so you can.
I've just had an email from somebody telling me how to set my HOTAS controller for Elite Dangerous 3 weeks after I actually posted it.
Yay.
And now I figured it out anyway. Sorry, not related. Image not related.
Apparently, there's some cars do. I think Passats put side lights on. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think some of them, if you put your indicator switch up or down, it'll put that side.
That's what it used to do. I just didn't know if anyone still did it.
Just paint a shark mouth on the side of your car, then nobody will ever hit it.
Or steal it.
Yeah, exactly. My car ever gets nicked, the police will take like 3 minutes to find it. Can you describe your car? Yeah, it's blue with a shark mouth. Yeah, we'll find that. Not going to be hard to find.
We had a scheme once in Cumbria. I don't think it's existing anymore, where it was a Cumbria Police Vehicle Watch, where you could go to the police station and buy a sticker for your car. And then you put the sticker in your car. And if your car was seen driving around at night, it was sort of giving the police permission to stop your car and find out who was driving it. And people used.
I remember you could get stickers that said that nobody under 18 should be under like 35 should be driving this car. My dad had one of them in his car.
So the thing is, we used to get people that get these stickers, then drive around at night, hoping, sadly, that they would be stopped. And then they'd write to the chief constable saying, I was driving my car at 1 o'clock in the morning. I passed a police vehicle and it did not stop me. What have I paid my £3 for? Because
dear points of view. Why, oh, why, oh, why?
Why, oh, why? Signed a disgruntled of Barrow.
Yes.
Michael Jackman still have an internet problem. It just died for 4 minutes, apparently. Sorry, but you didn't miss much. That's fine.
No, you didn't miss much.
Wait till it's fixed and watch it. But don't forget, you've got a week to do the giveaway, the big giveaway. So as long as you get your internet back before next Monday and you watch through the whole thing and you actually put your answer down.
Adrian David asked, do they make models of food?
The Japanese do. Japanese love miniature food.
I think you can get some mini art stuff, diorama. I don't think it's actually. I think you can.
Yeah, Beyond Hope says Mini Art make 1/35th market baskets with food in them.
Yeah.
The Japanese go really big into miniature model food, like model cakes and food, and even like really tiny things. I don't know why. Apparently, making models of cakes is a big thing in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, Tamiya, you can get the Weathering Master pastels. There's actually a line of Weathering Master pastels designed purely for painting model cakes. I've seen it. I've seen the packet, and I've seen a video of how to use them. And there's a woman there, and she's making a model of an eclair using Weathering Master, and it looks so real,
but tiny.
Doing like the pastry with the little Weathering Master pastels. It's like, this is incredible. But apparently, it's a big thing for female model makers in Japan. Love making model cakes and food, pastries.
Another genre of model making.
Yeah, I think it stems from the fact that a lot of restaurants have small models of food in the restaurant for people that can't read Japanese, so they can say, "I just want that one." So it probably comes from that. So
they do that baker's windows and stuff, don't they? They got like the cakes that have been varnished or whatever.
Yes, unless it's just a really bad baker.
Might just be that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this week's eModels video will be making fish and chips.
One of the Facebook modelling groups makes models out of dry pasta.
I've seen that guy on there. Yeah, he does that. He makes cars and motorbikes and things out of pasta.
Yeah. You can make models out of anything. I like getting the packing peanuts that you can stick together by licking them. You can make monsters and all kinds of things out of those.
Yeah. The packing peanuts, them big foamy things.
Like the ones that look like flumps.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
I'm not back on flumps again.
Keep an eye out for Tamiya's 1/25th scale banana, says Robert Blaylock.
Whoa.
Okay. There's a lot to talk about Blu-rays and DVDs, but I missed the beginning of it, so I don't know exactly what they're talking about. But
Dave Barker says he had a 924 bought in auction on a Thursday, stopped by the police 3 times in 4 days driving home from working late shift, sold it in the auction the next week. Yeah, that was obviously had a marker on it. Had a flag on it.
Yeah.
Probably why it was up for auction and sold cheap.
yeah.
There's that car again. Should we stop it again? We stopped it last night. That's good. No else happening. Let's go pull it over.
Sooner or later, he'll be doing something illegal.
Yeah, if you see a nice car in an auction and it's like doesn't look like it's completely battered and it's dirt cheap, it's probably hot. That's why it's in an auction. You don't want to buy it.
Yeah, it's still got the body in the boot.
Kenneth M says his dog Alex is awesome. His dog Alex ate half a box of packet peanuts. He loves them. And now he's padded against everything. I don't want to know what the consequences were like 12 hours later.
Dave Barker, I've got your email. Thank you. I shall forward it off. And yeah, he wants basic clear colours. That's no problem at all. Yeah, I've got a question from Dave, by the way. Have you answered Dave's question? Have you
no, I've got it here, but I haven't answered it.
No.
I forgot all about it, to be honest, because I don't normally do the email bit.
Yeah, because I've... Hang on. Where's the guy?
Tim and Mindy Bickerdike say Dragon will be doing a banana kit, but it will have 700 parts, and half of them will be photo etch.
Yeah. Yeah, and Dick Dale says,
right.
yeah, and it'll have the instructions for an orange in it.
Right, yeah. Dave Barker's probably received a weird message because I thought I was emailing you to say I'd be along in 10 minutes. I actually have emailed it to Dave.
Personally contact every single viewer and let them know when he'll be here.
Yeah, I was going around every viewer that was on the chat. Just telling them about
We don't know where Ted is this week. Dave, have you heard from him?
I would have been on 15 minutes earlier, but I was just emailing everybody to say I was going to be late.
Yeah.
Right. Here we go. Hello, Ted, Fox, and the other guy.
Chris and I.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah. I've seen a few of those colonial YouTuber car builders thinning nail varnish at a ratio of 2 to 1, but they don't say what they're thinning it with. That's to spray it through an airbrush. So what would you thin nail varnish with, and how would you go about cleaning said airbrush after use? Because the range of colours available is huge in comparison to model paints.
I don't know what kind of paint it is it?
Dave in the chat just says his wife's just put the kettle on for you, Ted, so it'd be all right when you're going to be there in 10 minutes. Or...
All right. Yeah. 2 sugars, please.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of paint. Is it a cellulose paint? Is it a lacquer paint?
No, Tony Black says cellulose thinners, so I think it might be on the...
Yeah, acetone. Yeah, the stuff that you wipe varnish on.
Acetone, but you use acetone to get rid of it, don't you? So does that... I don't know.
Sergeant Bones says nail varnish is usually enamel. I was going to say, by the way, if you put acetone on your model parts, you probably won't have any model parts left.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. I mean, you could try acetone. It might not eat every single kind of plastic, but it's quite a strong solvent, so...
Yeah, I think the nail varnish itself is quite acetone or something like that, isn't
Tony
it?
Black says he's used cellulose thinner. Cellulose thinner is one of those thinners that's kind of a universal thinner. It'll thin anything. So it's always a good bet that cellulose thinner will. Just make sure that your airbrush is solvent safe, because cellulose thinner is one of the strongest thinners. And also make sure you've got really good ventilation and a mask, because that stuff will stink your house out, and it's quite toxic if you inhale it. So do make sure you've got a mask and good ventilation. But that'd be worth a try.
Yeah, I know there's a vast range of colours and all sparkly colours and things like that, but yeah, I would think that some of the shiny car modelers will be able to tell you that there's an equivalent model.
Graham Presswood says acetone melts plastic. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I would suspect possibly even like isopropyl alcohol might work. It's kind of a universal thinner, so maybe not though. Probably not. Actually.
Yeah. For the savings and the cost and the possibility that you might ruin your airbrush, is it maybe worth it? I don't know. I've never used it, honestly, Dave.
I've seen it used quite a lot, because there are to get proper sparkly metally colours, it's actually quite good, especially if you do cars and things. you can get some fantastic colours that you just don't get out of other paint ranges. But yeah, as long as your airbrush is solvent safe. I mean, if you've got a proper like DeVilbiss type airbrush, which is the company that makes spray guns for body shops, they also do airbrushes, and they're kind of designed for auto repair and stuff. Like my DeVilbiss dagger is solvent safe, and you could put anything through that because it's designed to deal with automotive paints. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Robert Blaylock, yeah, I've got your email as well.
Yeah, Tim and Mindy say a lot of the car modelers use zero paints, which have some proper fancy colours.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Michael Jacker would say, calling it a night, hate to leave early, but not much choice.
Yeah, well, there's not much more time left anyway, so yeah, good night. Yeah, I didn't mean good night from us, I mean good night.
Beyond Hope says, use nail polish with some manky, hairy brushes. The polish will self-level, and you can throw the brushes away after.
Yeah, I must try it. Yeah, I'll try. I'll get a bit of an old plastic model. I've got an old.
Just make sure you don't use your better half's nail polish colour that she really likes, because you might get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, get your own bottle.
Is nail polish expensive? Or I don't know. It's not something I've ever bought. So
I would guess it's probably more expensive than the same amount of model making paint, because it's branded for L'Oreal or whoever. I don't know about now. It's always overpriced because it's makeup, isn't it?
I suppose you could get nail varnish from the pound shop or such like that.
It'd be terrible though.
Yeah, the range of colours would be probably less than you would get range of colours.
Tony Black says it can be really cheap. So
yeah,
I suppose it's like anything you can get.
Yeah,
spend whatever you like on it.
At the end of the day, just man up and go into the beauty store and buy some.
Yeah, it's my girlfriend would like a bottle of that fluorescent pink girly.
Do you have anything that's similar to Dunkelgelb by any chance?
Apparently,
Jamie Bowen asked me a question, but it's moved. Jamie Bowen, question for Fox: how many Star Wars old movies were there? There were 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then 7, 8, and 9. That's it.
Beats me.
And a couple of others like Rogue One. There you go. Star Wars started at Episode 4. There's nothing before that. Nothing. I tell you, nothing.
But Rogue One was before that.
That was no. In terms of, apart from that, shut up. Nate Bliss says 7, 8, 9, not Star Wars. Yeah, they are.
Robert Blaylock says, don't we all use nail files for sanding? So while you're in getting your nail files, get some nail. They won't look twice if you're buying nail files as well.
I use something sponges now, but yeah, I've got some nail files in there and things.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
You could. Kenneth says you could take your model to a nail salon and ask them to paint it.
Yeah.
I
want unicorns on that.
Somebody said that to me at work this week because I've gone back to work now. Yeah, hey Ted, you paint tiny figures and things. Yeah, can you paint my nails?
Yeah,
not really. No,
it'd take you ages to mask it, wouldn't it? You'd have to mask it.
Yeah, so he went away most disappointed.
Yeah, it's like, you can drive a car, can't you? Can you fly this plane? No.
Yeah, it's easy.
I'll have a go, but it'll be Dunkelgelb and mud.
Yeah, if you're weathered.
Yeah, I'll weather them. What is it with unicorns?
What is it with unicorns? I don't know.
You mentioned unicorns, but I think you're talking about Gundam unicorns rather than ones with the pointy things.
Well, when I was saying about like nail polishing, varnishing things, that's a ladies' thing, isn't it? Unicorns and fluffy animals. And I don't know what people have on the nails. I don't go to a beauty clinic to have my nails done,
Beyond Hope says, Ted, looking at nail painting brushes, some of the tiniest and finest acrylic brushes around.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's also worth looking into. If you need to do things like stripes and stuff a lot, learn how to talk first of all. Look into getting some actual proper pinstriping brushes like you get from House of Colour and paste like that. They do actual for detailing cars, pinstriping on cars. They're very long and they're very tapered to a massive point, and they're designed so you can pinstripe along a car. But they have the place in the model making world because they're really good for painting very straight lines.
and the long, the long because they hold the paint.
I mean, the nearest I've got is one of those, but it's not quite a pinstriping brush, and it's actually needs cleaning because it's not pointy. That's just a Daler and Rowney Graduate 3, but it's that kind of thing. But they're like twice as long, and they go to a super fine point. But they're designed so you can paint a straight line. So yeah, if you've got lots of things like that to do, or want to paint tribal symbols on your models or straight.
If you've got a lot of brush, but to a very thin point, it'll hold a lot of paint, so you can just do it in one stripe rather than have to do one little bit and run out of paint.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's just so you can drag it, and you drag it along. There's a very special technique for it, and it's similar to the kind of brushes that's used in Japanese calligraphy.
Yeah,
the big, massive bulbous bit with the very fine point, and they're really long as well. So you can go around curves like that, and the brush will just curve around. So when you see all these like pinstripes and flames and tribal symbols on cars, they're just painted by hand. I actually watched a video once of a Rolls Royce being made at the Rolls Royce factory. This was back in the 80s, and there was a guy there adding the pinstripe, the little yellow pinstripe that goes all the way down the length of the car, by hand. He basically was he was about 80 years old, and he's just got this little, he's got a little pommel there to rest his hand on, and he just goes with the pinstriping brush, and there's this perfectly straight line all the way down the length of this Rolls Royce.
Can't you just hold the brush still and get the car to drive past?
Yeah. So that's craftsmanship. I've been doing this for 40 years. There's a straight line, no problem. I'm bringing you my Warhammer figures.
Just a note. Graham Presswood's finally worked out how to get into chat. So yeah, welcome to chat.
Yes.
He's been watching the blog for a couple of weeks and finally worked out how to get in the chat. Yeah, really. So it can be done. Come and join us in chat.
You missed today's giveaways, but you'll be around for next week's.
Yeah. So
yeah. Don't forget you can enter the big competition for next week.
Yeah, believe me, if you're watching this and you haven't made it into chat because you're frightened or laughed at or anything like that, come along, join in the fun. The more people we get chatting, brilliant. They chat amongst themselves in here. If you've never looked at the chat, they chat amongst themselves, they chat to us, we chat back. Yeah, it's a good part of interaction. It's your show.
I mean, at the moment, everybody in chat is just talking about Star Wars. So
yeah.
We're not even really here. We could just stop broadcasting now, and everybody's.
We'll just go and leave the chat open, and last one out. Turn the lights out, please.
We can leave it going until next week.
Yeah.
Trot Charles says they should give Star Wars back to Lucas. I think you're forgetting those last 3 films he made, which were never made. You'd never give Star Wars back to Lucas. The end of.
Robert Blaylock says chat is where it's at.
Yeah, chat is where it's at.
Mm.
Yeah.
Dick Dolan says, I used to be a mechanic at a main dealers in the 70s. Guy in the paint shop used to do pinstripes like that by hand. That's how you do real pinstripes. You do it by hand, freehand. People that use masks and stuff, that's just nonsense. If you're going to really do it by hand. And if you're really hardcore, you don't use alcohol-based paints because they can, if you make a mistake, you can wipe them off. You use proper cellulose-based paints because they're like dry. So if you're really hardcore, you just paint that stuff on straight away and it gets it right every time. Or learn how to cover things up so it looks like you've not got it wrong.
I don't think they really do pinstripes on cars anymore, do they? Remember we used to go to a dealership and you'd look at a Ford Cortina and it was an extra 200 quid for a pinstripe.
Mm.
And, you don't really get them anymore.
No. And then all you used to find out that the pinstripe was that the car would arrive at the dealership without a pinstripe. The salesman would come out with a roll of pinstripe tape and put it on and charge you 200 quid for it.
Yeah. Well, there is actually a device you can get, which is it looks like a panel line scriber, but it's got a little cogwheel at the end. And I've used one, and it's designed so that even if you're not a professional pinstriper, you can just go. You get a magnetic strip that it sits along, and you just roll it along, and it paints a perfect pinstripe. And they're actually quite good, but they're not as good for going around curves.
Yeah, because I remember using these. These are car pinstripes, rolls of tape, and they were brilliant for boats. There's a car length on there. Pinstripe. This is white. Can't find the black one.
I've got some 3M pinstriping tape somewhere. It's over there at the minute. I can't get to it, but I've got some of that really fine blue pinstriping tape. It's really good for masking off curves. The only thing to be aware of, it grips like a leech, so it might take your paint off.
Yeah.
Robert says the new thing is wrapping your car. They do these vinyl wrap things now, don't they?
Yeah, no, I was never really into that. Never did wrapping. It's get it. If you've got the money, get it painted. If you haven't got the money, wraps tend to look a bit rubbish after about 6 months. I remember a guy came to us once. He had some Ferrari or other. I can't remember what it was now. It might have been in California. I don't know. But he had it wrapped matte black. So it looked like the Batmobile. Apart from where the wrap was failing. And it was shiny red underneath. And you're like, not that great. And you couldn't wash it or anything. There's very few products you could use. So it's like, yeah. So...
Yeah, or the wrap. Yeah, you'd go to it. Yeah, you'd find out how cheap you could get your wrap on for. So you got the cheapest
wrap on.
Yeah, get your wrap on.
Wrap
so
it on.
You got the cheapest backstreet garage, and then it'd be all crinkly around the edges and the corners where they couldn't get it in. So.
Yeah, that's the silver on your windows, isn't it?
Yep. Well, one thing we used to do, where we used to work, they did window tints as well. It's actually doing window tints is actually really hard. It's not easy at all. I tried it. It's like, fuck, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's not working. It's not easy at all. Unless you do it.
Zad says, bake or foil your Ford Capri. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. Double the value.
Ah, good. Yeah,
right, chaps. It is 11 of the o'clock. I think we should, we're petering a bit. We should bundle this one up and send it off into the abyss, I think.
Yeah, we're just rambling into nonsense still.
Yeah, everybody's just talking about Star Wars. They're ignoring us anyway.
Is there anything we've forgotten to do?
There's probably something I've forgotten to do.
I don't know I can remember anything that we've forgotten to do. I was just, thinking, is there something?
We usually forget. Yeah, we usually forget to do something.
Yeah, you're going off Occam's razor.
Ted normally forgets to do something. I think we got it covered.
Yeah, I've probably forgotten something. It's probably guaranteed I have forgotten something. It's Occam's razor in it, so.
Yeah, as soon as you press the off button, you'll think,
"Oh, damn!"
We've done the giveaway. We've done the giveaway. We did last week's giveaway.
Done the store.
What's in store?
We talked about food.
Yeah, we've done food. We've done the 80s. Somebody mentioned the Mark 1 Cortina, so we got that far back.
Yeah.
The chat are ignoring us now and talking about Star Wars, so we've lost them anyway. So we're doing everything right. I've not done badly.
Trot Chad says, night all, great show, guys. Well, it was before Ted showed up. Banned.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Can't comment.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to do us anyway. I think we'll call it a night there. But thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget, as always, make sure to put your comment on the video for next week so you can try and win that, whatever it was we were giving away, the motorbike. I remember then. I don't know. Have you written down what we're winning next week?
I've written it down and I put a date on it. Now I've just got to remember where I put the clipboard for next week.
Yeah, because I haven't got a clipboard. I've just got a book. So
yeah, old school. We have to write things down.
I've got a book, but it's got loads of other things in it as well. So I just have to remember. A, I have to remember it's in the book, and B, I have to remember where in the book.
Hang your clipboard up to the sign that says "Not Sunday" or.
Yeah, I can put it.
So there you go.
Next week is Bank Holiday Monday, isn't it? We have to hear
so there'll be no show next week. Are we doing a show next week on a Bank Holiday Monday? I don't know. We didn't do it last time, did we?
Yeah, I think we did. Well, we'll have to discuss between us. Yeah, we'll get a premium rate for it, I'm sure.
Yeah, we should get double time and a half. Double time, Bank Holiday rates.
Yeah, we should get double time and a day off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see.
So we'll either be here or not here.
Well, assuming we haven't all been descended on by family and things like that, I suppose.
Yeah. Or we could be eating Easter eggs. We could eat our Easter eggs this week. Yeah. If you've got an Easter egg, if you've got some Easter eggs and you can't eat them all, send them to Ted at eModels.com.
Yeah, jam them down the internet tube.
Ted will share them out.
Yeah, Is it just me, by the way? But the moment you left school, did you forget when all the holidays were?
No, because I've got kids.
Oh, you got kids. Well, I can't ask either of you the two then, can I? But for me, the moment I left school, I spent 14 years of my life living from holiday to holiday, so I knew every summer and bank holiday and everything. As soon as I left school, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. As Ed said, Easter Monday's cheap egg day.
Yep.
Get yourself down to the supermarket, they're selling them all off. Yeah.
What, the day after?
Day after at Easter, get them
day after Easter.
Price. Yeah.
Before they go all foggy and cloudy, but while they're dirt cheap.
That's all. Yeah, good. Yeah, so we'll come back next week then. I'd like to thank Fox and Chris for holding out while I appeared and just took the time turning up.
Because that 5 minutes was a lifetime. Ted, you're not moving house. I've cancelled it.
Sorry, you're in charge of that, Fox. You carry on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is it me? Oh, yes, it is me. Anyway, yes. Thank
We
you
could have been here for
everybody
watching.
Thank you everyone for watching. I was about to say, do join us next week. We've just had that conversation. Don't forget to pop along to eModels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs. Like we said before, if there was something in the What's in Store section, go and get it now if you haven't already, if it's still there. And we'll be back next week. So it just remains for me to say thank you very much to Christoph Griffithson, that bloke on the left.
Thank you.
And Ted McTeddington, Tedulon Tedicus in the middle there.
Yeah, just a minute. Chris Balchin's asked if you could see my chair to see if it's the Grumbleweeds one. It's not. It's that one. Yeah, there we go. That's my chair.
When he said somebody's asked to see your, I would kind of finish the sentence for you in my mind, and it was like, no.
No, nobody needs to see that. No. Yeah, press the button. Press the button.
We don't do them sort of videos.
No. But that's going to do us. So thanks so much for watching. Come back next week when we'll probably be here. If not, we'll let you know. And that's me going to press the button now. So adios, amigas.
Bye.
No.
That's amigas. Amiga's a computer. Adios, amoebas. Even. Bye.
Bye.